Hello. Is this working? Let me see. Yes, it's working. Okay, I can't see. Oh, I do see your chat. Nice, nice, nice. Excellent. All right, well, that was easy. Oh, shit, I gotta change my shirt. All right. Now I'm ready for a fucking debate. All right, let's get this shit going. I need to close this. Dismiss. Ask to join. Hi, horses. No Twitch because I don't want to get banned, and I feel like some bannable shit's gonna happen here. Thing's a little orange. I don't like that. There we go. I got this. I'm just gonna talk to them. I'm not. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be like a huge fight. Check your audio and video. Oh, it's not letting me. You know what? Fuck. Okay, here we go. Allow. There we go. Ask to join. Test, test. Okay.
Hello, sir. Okay, now wait 1 second. Okay,
Hello.
go ahead and speak for me.
Hey, man. How's it going?
It's going great. Okay, now let's see. I'll change this here.
Okay.
Spotlight. Okay. So I swear. Did I call this or what? People have been watching the show the whole time. I called it, did I not? Okay.
What did you call?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Oh shit! I didn't call
What?
that. I didn't call that though. All right, now hold on. I'll have to let him in on the other hangout. Okay. Now,
Nice.
how you guys doing?
I'm good. Wait, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I
have
have
some
to.
OBS shit to do here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I hear you.
I can hear
Hold
you.
on.
And now you're pinned on screen, which was the goal. I'll figure out the balance. But yeah, you're both here. So what's up? Let me go ahead. trying to even out the thing. I'll do that as we go along, though. Vince James is here. Been on the show many times. Also, Mr. Girl Max Carson been on the show quite a few times himself, actually.
I actually have. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so you're not. Also, my camera fucked up. I'll fix that. You're not a rookie to. Yeah, I'll fix it. You're not a rookie to this whatsoever. The Killstream. So, and you've even done a debate on here too, so you kind of know how it goes. A little bit laid back.
I have.
Not gonna be too many interruptions or anything like that. You know, maybe if it's necessary here or there, if I have a question or whatever. But what I like to do at the beginning is let there be an intro on each side, 5 to 10 minutes. You know, it's not nothing strict or anything like that.
Hold on. How do I? Why am I so like? I can adjust
You are pretty dark.
Yeah, you're super dark.
How do I adjust that? So I normally do this on like OBS. So I know how to do it on OBS. I don't know how to do it on Google Hangouts. Why is it like that?
I would say it's your camera. Like, I don't know, something's.
Yeah.
I don't think there should be a filter on it. It is pretty dark.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Something's going on. Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That
We're good.
Wait, oh no.
Whoa! What the heck?
Oh, hey, yo.
Hold on.
Whoa.
I guess I have to keep that open. That's the weirdest shit ever.
That's crazy.
What the heck?
What the?
All right. I guess I have to keep OBS open. Weird.
That's
I don't know.
It's using your virtual cam, dude. I guess probably.
Dude, I am not like a technical guy at all. If you haven't been able to tell, so you know.
That's all good.
There we go. We got it. We're good.
Oh, good. All right, now since you're talking, he's messing with his setup now too. Vince, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'll let you go ahead and start with your opening statement. The topic tonight is whether or not America should remain a white majority country, if that's beneficial, good, whatever, however you want to put it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you said that Mr. Girl, I guess, is that what you want me to refer to you as? Mr. Girl.
Yeah. You can call me Max if you want. My name's Max.
All right, whatever. Mr. Girl.
Yeah, Mr. Girl.
You said that you wanted to debate, I think initially, from the text that I got from Ralph, the general ideology of the Groypers or whatever. So I didn't know what that meant. So I was like,
I said I wanted to debate a Nazi. I said Nazi first, and then he was like, well, and I was like, white supremacist, and he was like, yeah, and I was like, white nationalist, and he was like, yes. Sure.
Okay, well,
he was like, I think I could probably do that. And I don't know if you call yourself a white nationalist. I think he just knew what I meant.
Well, I told him that, you know, you're going to have to pick something. We're going to have to narrow something down, you know. If you want, you know. And so this is the topic that we came up with. And so I never heard of you until Ralph reached out to me. So I looked a little bit into you, and I found that you're on all the mainstream platforms. You're on YouTube, you're on Twitch, you're on Twitter, maybe you're even on TikTok. I don't even know. You're on all the mainstream platforms, and yet you have a smaller average, and you've been at this since like 2017, since your YouTube channel was created. You have a smaller average audience than I do per video on platforms that nobody has ever heard of. So this is the reason why I've never heard of you up until Ralph.
I'm a small time guy.
Texted me. Right.
Yeah.
And so I guess what I found out was that people apparently have been calling you a pedophile. I don't know how long this has been going on, but people have
I probably don't like being called a pedophile any more than you like being called a Nazi, but you know, that's comes with the territory. Am I right?
Right. So you deny it. And I started to look into you, and I found a music video that you made called I Am a Pedophile.
Yeah.
Found another music video that you made that was called I Can Fantasize About Whatever I Want.
It doesn't look good. I get what you're saying.
You say your sexual attraction. The quote from the video is you say your sexual attraction to minors
is major. Can't even play hopscotch without popping a rager.
Yes, that's the rap video. And then you told Vosh, and I couldn't find a lot of these original videos, but I found some clips. And I know that clips can be taken out of context, but you know, if we summarize all the content that I've seen thus far, in one clip you told Vosh that 13 would be a good age for you.
Wait. Let's well now.
Okay.
I don't want us to misrepresent each other. So
okay. Well, no, I just want to show you I just want to tell you one last thing what I found, and then you can you can elaborate on all these.
No, I don't want to elaborate. I don't think I said that, so I got to stop you there.
What'd you say?
I don't think I said that. I believe what I said was we were talking about what the average age of highest attraction is with men in the United States. And Vosh guessed 14 to 17. And I guessed 15 to 16, which are basically the same answer. I don't think either of us said what is a good age for us personally. I think we were talking about what if men could watch, and also not to date, just stripping in a strip club. If men could watch without causing any harm, androids that look like teenagers or whatever age women strip, what age would they be most interested in? And I think we both agreed it would be 15 and a half.
And then you went on to talk about their underwear color. I don't know if it was androids or it sounded like you were kids you were talking about. And then well,
androids wouldn't need underwear. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so I mean this is like the broad, I guess, broad stroke summary of some of the content that you've most recently became known for. Your review that you did of cuties. I couldn't find that original video anywhere online, but I saw
it's on my website.
Clips. Is it on your website?
Yeah.
And I guess in one of the clips, and you could tell me if this was taken out of context or not, but in one of the clips you said that the movie does try to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds. You said it does a good job of it. And then you said the kids in the film were pretty hot.
Yeah.
That's true. Is that out of context at all? Or?
Is it true if they're hot? I mean, that's up to you. But it's true that I said that, yeah.
So do you understand why maybe people might call you a pedophile?
Yeah. Can I just briefly ask you for a second? What is the purpose of this exchange that we're having right now? Just I'm fine with it. We can keep going.
I never knew anything about you until Ralph texted me.
You're just reeling from it. You've taken all this information and you're shocked.
I'm trying to see what you have to say about this. Yeah, because he texted me. He's like, "Hey, we need you to debate this guy or whatever." I'm like, he doesn't really seem to have too big of an audience. I don't know if I really want to debate that. Plus,
yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I don't have that big of an audience.
But then I started looking into you, and these are the things that I found. And
you were intrigued by what you.
I was saying that I was going to debate you, and people were like, "Oh, that guy's a pedophile." And from what I found out from like watching some of your stuff, is that you deny it, and a lot of people call you this, and so I just wanted to know what I was getting into before, like know who I was talking to before we got into this.
So before we get into it, you would like to know more about who you're talking to?
Well, I just wanted to know about that stuff. But it seems to be the case that you basically admit to all of it.
Admit to admit to what? Admit those videos they're not fakes. Those are real conversations that occurred and they happened. And I admit that they happened.
Okay, well, I guess we can get into the topic for tonight.
Why? But why are we prefacing? I guess I didn't really research you that much. I was like, okay,
Well, I just want to know: are you a pedophile? Do you have a sexual attraction to minors?
Whoa, that's personal. Why do you need to know that?
Just wondering. If what they say is true.
You want to know what it's going to be like?
What they all say is true.
If you lose a debate to a pedophile, that makes you look pretty bad. That's true. Is that what you're?
I'm just wondering.
But if you win a debate against a pedophile, I just don't get why it matters.
It matters because I'm just asking you the question.
What kind of porn do you watch? People are calling you this.
I watch zero porn.
What kind of porn would you watch if you watched porn? What kind of porn did you used to watch when you were addicted to it?
General pornography, normal pornography.
No, that's not true. Let's get specific.
That is absolutely true.
I don't believe you. I want to know categories. I want to know search terms. What what are you holding back from search feverishly opening Pornhub and search? I don't care.
Trying to get. I don't know what you're trying to back.
And I don't know what you're trying to get at either. Why does it matter what we? What does it matter what our
sexual attraction to minors? Do you have kids?
What does it matter what our sexual attractions are?
Because it matters. Because if you have
it matters to you
toward minors, toward 11-year-old girls, I think that you should probably be in prison. Not talking to me today on this.
If you want, I welcome you to contact the FBI and show them what you saw and say, I found this guy's YouTube channel and I need you to go arrest him. And if you write your local representative,
but why can't you just answer the question?
Petition the Supreme Court to repeal the First Amendment, and then maybe you'll get your wish. But until then, I'm gonna be free.
But so why can't you just answer the question? That's all I'm asking.
Do you believe in free speech?
I believe in free speech.
Do you think that people should go?
I'm probably sure that your categorization of speech
you're probably
sure broad.
Okay. Well, do you think that it should be illegal in the United States of America to say that an 11-year-old is hot?
Yes.
Okay. So do you think it should be illegal to say that a 14-year-old is hot?
Yes.
Okay, so if I say Hermione was hot in Harry Potter 3, then you think I should be charged with a crime. But if I say Hermione was hot in Harry Potter 6, then it's okay.
I think that you should, if you say these things, I think at the very least you should be looked into. Like I agree. I am.
Well, no, hang on. You said I should be charged. Hang on.
But I think that there's limits to speech. Don't you believe that?
Yeah, absolutely. Responsibility. Well, you just said there should be a legal limit where it is illegal for me to say that a 14-year-old is hot. I don't believe that you actually think that, and I want you to have the opportunity to walk that back now.
If someone were to say, well, I think that maybe someday I'm going to look into how to build bombs. Like that would be something that you would probably look into that person for.
You
right?
can.
So I think at the very least,
you're about to enter a whole
sort of investigation.
You're about to enter a whole mess of legal arguments that you're going to not be able to substantiate because you don't believe what you're saying. So I want you to have the opportunity to walk back that you think it should be a crime to say a 14-year-old is hot, because I don't believe that you think that. I do believe you're disgusted by my content, and possibly by me, and that you don't want me to lead you down some rabbit hole of rationalizing child rape or whatever it is you're afraid of. But I do not believe that you think it should be illegal to say that Miley Cyrus was hot when she started her singing career at age 14 or 15 or whatever. Do you actually think that should be?
I think at the very least you should be looked into, right? There should be some sort of
but it shouldn't be illegal. We agree. We agree it shouldn't be illegal.
Well, hold
on. It shouldn't be a crime.
Well, hold on. Just let me finish my point. As there would be the same sort of investigation that would happen if someone was talking about building bombs. You have to understand, like, if we're just talking about like who is this person, who is that person, the only thing I could base these things off of is what those people say. So what you've said online, some of your songs, some of the things that you've said in your songs, some of the things that you said in different debates. This is the only thing that I can base off.
I'm pretty stuck on the free speech thing. You literally said it should be a crime. You said I should be charged with a crime for saying that a minor was hot. And I'm wondering if you actually
think maybe it doesn't go that far. Maybe at the
you think it should be you think free speech protects the ability to say that an 11-year-old is hot?
I think currently it does, yeah. But I
do you think it should? But do you think it should?
I think that there.
It currently does, obviously.
I think that it currently does, yeah. I think that.
Do you think it? But do you think it should?
But I keep answering this question. I think that there should be.
What's a yes or no question? And I keep hearing a lot of words that are not yes or no. Do you think it should be legal to say that 11-year-olds are hot, regardless of any other crimes that person may have committed? Do you think that in itself should be a crime?
Yeah, I think that currently it should it is legal, and currently it should be legal. But I think
great.
That,
we agree.
Well, hold on, let me finish. I think that at the very least, like someone who's talking about building bombs, like someone who's talking about going up to shoot a school or something like that, I think that person should be looked into. Right?
Oh, that's
I think
fine.
That people like
I'm concerned about
should be looked into because of the things that you say online.
Yes, I understand. I'm just concerned about the
and I'm just basing off of what I've seen online from
yes,
the past,
I totally understand.
few hours of looking at some of your stuff before coming onto the Killstream.
This is
what I'm basing you
it
off
could be
of.
a lot. The first time you hear about me, I've seen a lot of reactions, a lot of first timers get very provoked. It's very provocative stuff that I make. But what I'm concerned about is
just
that
trying to be like a comedian, just trying to provoke people, or do you generally believe the things
no,
that you say?
it's more complicated than that. But I'll just say that
okay.
I think so. But what I'm saying is that as long as we agree that that you don't think I should go to jail for my content, right?
No, I don't think you should go to jail for your content. No.
You're worried that my content indicates that I've broken other laws that you think I should go to jail for.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right. So we're both on team free speech. Because I was thinking, like, this has got to, I mean, we're going to disagree about a lot, but we got to agree about free speech. Like, for me to do what I do and for you to do what you do, we both kind of need the First Amendment.
Well, the thing is that people like you would consider like pornography free speech, or even child pornography free speech. So I think our definitions of free speech are different, but I agree.
Well, let's define it.
I don't think you should go to jail for some of the things that you've said. But
okay,
I think
so
at
you
the very least you should be investigated, probably, yes.
Yeah, you said that. Do you think pornography should be illegal?
Yeah, I think that it should be. I think that, in my opinion, I think that this should be handled by the states, because I think that they would probably do a much better job of handling this. And I think,
well, if it was up to you,
easily states. If it was up to me, if I was in control of, let's say I'm the state legislature and the governor at the same time, I'm the king of whatever particular state, I would block access to pornography sites within that state unless they at the very least implement some sort of real age verification process. That would be like the minimum for me.
Okay.
Like,
what age?
These sites would have to 18, right? 18 would have to be the age.
Okay, so you don't think that you think pornography should be legal, but you think that it should
be illegal. I would like for it to be.
Well, you just
illegal.
said it. You just said it.
But
what age verification?
The solution to that would be at the compromise on that. Or
I don't want to compromise. I just want to know what you think. We don't have to compromise. I just want to know what you think the law should be. What would you outlaw if you could?
It should be illegal. Yeah, I think it should be illegal.
Okay, so you would say no pornography of any kind.
Yes.
What about like music videos when women are shaking their asses?
Yeah, I think that should be regulated as well. I think
illegal?
That the regulation of a lot of people confuse free speech. A lot of people have this like in the definition of free speech.
I just want to know where we're drawing the line.
Well, just hold on. Just let me finish. Why do you keep interrupting?
Because you're not answering my question.
I'm not interrupting you. When I'm talking, you're interrupting me. So I'm trying to answer your question, because it's a lot more nuanced than just like, well, and then you just keep going on and on and on down this path, and we keep getting into different questions, and then we never get to the original topic, which we're supposed to talk about. But I just want to summarize my thoughts here. I think that a lot of people have a broad definition of free speech today, and this definition is getting broader. I think that the regulation of morality in the country has been something that has existed for a long time. Like, it's the most American thing. It's existed up until basically about the 60s, maybe the 1970s, late 1960s, early 1970s. It was illegal, or not illegal, but there are obscenity laws on the books. These obscenity laws, a lot of people have stopped enforcing these obscenity laws. Like things like basic nudity in films wasn't even allowed. And some of this was regulated by the state, but other parts of this were regulated by like private companies.
Just to be clear,
for churches.
For something to be obscene, it has to be offensive to the audience or the community. So it might not be that they're not enforcing them. It might just be that people's perceptions of what is offensive may have changed.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. It's definitely true that people's perceptions of what might be obscene.
Okay, but like the law, I don't think the law itself has changed much.
No. Obscenity laws, I don't think that the obscenity laws in the books haven't changed much, but they're just not being enforced as they used to be. And so I think that, like I said, the regulation of morality has existed in the country forever, but that has gotten less and less and less. And I believe that, if we go from, even Barack Obama saying, he's against gay marriage, and he's willing to come up publicly about this, to today, where we have, you know, children dancing on stage at adult gay bars, and you have children dancing in the streets with half-naked men, and transgenders twerking for kids at libraries, and, you know, all these different things that we're seeing today. I think that this is going to get a lot worse, like a lot worse. And I think that the regulation of morality is getting less and less and less. And this correlates, obviously, with the increase in this stuff. And so I think that we should be regulating this stuff.
Okay. And you don't want to say where you would draw the line exactly on what sexually provocative materials should be legal versus illegal. It's okay if you don't have an answer. I was curious.
Well, I mean, because it's sort of, like I said, it's sort of nuanced, because then you have to get into, like, how would this stuff be regulated, and we would just be talking for an hour and a half about, or an hour now, for an hour about how this stuff would be regulated. Go ahead, Ralph.
I actually don't want to talk about that. I literally was just curious if you could do whatever you wanted. You could draw any line anywhere to make everything below the line illegal and above it legal. I'm just curious where you'd put it. But if you don't want to answer, that's fine. I'm not going to press you on it. I'm literally just curious.
No, yeah, I think that I would ban pornography. I think that
music videos would be, yeah, I think that stuff should be censored. In some countries, that sort of stuff is censored by the government. It used to be censored by our governments, and also by private companies, but it's not censored anymore. So yeah, I would bring all that stuff back. Okay. Go
ahead, Ralph.
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, if we're gonna do the intros on we don't even have to do the intros now. Fuck it.
My intro.
White Nation. I mean, we don't have to do that. We can.
His intro was my intro. So
No, it wasn't. I was really actually interested in what you had to say about some of the things that I said, and I just wanted.
I'm happy to answer any questions.
Some of those.
I'm happy to answer any questions about my content, I guess.
As far as the topic that we're supposed to be discussing today, should the U.S. remain majority white? First of all, the diversity that we've experienced, right? The diversity, the country of America has become increasingly diverse. And what I found from the general increase in diversity is that the negative impact vastly outweighs any perceived positive impact. I believe that there's been a negative impact on the economic, which is massive. There's been a negative impact on the political, which is big as well. And then there's been a very big impact on what I believe to be the most important of all of those, which is the cultural.
Okay.
So as far as like the economic is concerned, there's been an exponential increase in total spending due to diversity. There's been decreased wages. There's been, since 1965, a massive separation between wages and the GDP, and it got way worse during the 1980s after waves of people came into the country. As far as the cultural aspect of this is concerned, there's been thousands of extra poor, high crime areas that wouldn't have otherwise existed in the country that we're pouring billions of dollars into in terms of welfare spending and spending on crime and spending on policing. These areas wouldn't have existed if not for the diversity that America has experienced since the 1980s, but really since 1965. There's been an increase in crime. You have dirtier neighborhoods. You have the destruction of community, unity, homogeneity, and organizational membership. In the future, you are going to have no majority culture to assimilate into in this country. There's going to be no majority culture for people to assimilate into. Then you're going to have political crises like we've never seen before, less freedom. You're going to have dual loyalty issues in terms of the increase in Asian immigration, particularly with Chinese immigration. We're seeing many stories nowadays where we're seeing people getting arrested for spying for China or whatever. And then you have the general ballooning of the population. We went from 200 million people in 1965 to 325 million people today, driven basically solely by immigration and the children that the immigrants have. And then you have, if you care about this, higher carbon emissions because cars per capita on the road have increased quadruple, and you have, you know, more buildings being built and so forth. So that's basically my general intro into my argument against or for America remaining a majority white country. It's because all of the negative impacts that I summarize there vastly outweigh any perceived positive impact.
Do we agree that you are talking about the impacts on white people, not impacts on American citizens?
No, I think that I'm talking about the general impact on American citizens today, which,
well, like
historically, we're white people, yes.
Yeah, historically.
But,
I mean, I guess. Well, there was, I mean, there were
400, 500 years. You
black
know, if
people
you're
been
talking
here
about
for a while.
yeah,
Okay.
400 years. So if you're talking about wage decreases, like, and this is true, they're probably the most disproportionately affected by immigration in terms of wage decreases.
Well,
because it mainly affects low-skilled, low-wage jobs.
What I'm trying to get at is if somebody immigrates from like a poor country and then they are here, their standard of life has gone up.
Right.
So, and if they become an American,
life has gone up. That's correct.
Yeah. So when you say for
our
Americans,
standard of life goes down.
When you say our, I don't know what you mean by. Do you mean our including me, or you just mean white people, or do you?
I don't know. Do you live in America?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then yes.
Well, but when you say our, do you like if somebody immigrates from like Egypt, and as soon as they get their citizenship, are they us now, and then the next person to come in lowers their standard of living? I guess my point is that like for all the immigrants and the families of immigrants, their standard of life has gone up, and they so it's sort of like a definitional thing. I'm just trying to sort out like it is better for the people who come here to come here, obviously. and then they become Americans.
Yeah,
and then their standard of life. Yeah, I mean we're all immigrants.
It doesn't mean that it's better than for us, right? And so,
right, every person who goes through wants to close the door behind them, for sure. I mean,
well, no, I don't think that that's true.
Well, I'm not.
That's true.
I don't think it's true. I guess
people who immigrate here want to close the door behind. I think that a lot of people who have immigrated here and who are children of immigrants want to open up the doors for the
sure. Like I guess what I'm saying is, if from a purely selfish perspective, unless you're, I'm sure you've heard the arguments about like allowing experts in various fields to come to the country is better for the country and better for the economy. But I assume you're talking about just like the masses, the average immigrant. I can see the selfish.
Elon Musk, who's white and comes from South Africa.
Sure. I'm saying that you could see it. I can see the selfish argument for now that I'm in America, I want to close the door behind me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think that that's the general view of most people who are immigrating here today.
But it's your view.
I think that's well, yeah.
Like your family made it here.
Yeah, well, my family my grandparents or my great grandparents were from Italy. On my father's side, my great grandparents were from Ireland. My wife is actually an immigrant from Brazil, but that doesn't mean that immigration is positive for the country. You understand? That doesn't mean that it's a positive thing. Like I can be fat.
All I'm trying to point out.
Well, hold on. Like I can be fat. I can be like a fat person and talk about why obesity is bad for the country. You know what I mean? It probably would be sort of like a feeling of a contradiction there. But I'm
not trying to say it's a contradiction.
Like this is not.
I'm saying definitionally.
Overall, well, definitionally, yeah. I mean,
if I consider future immigrants, to be future American citizens, so they are us, or they're going to be us. And I'm saying that the way you're drawing the line between us versus them, I guess could be along race lines, but in a way, when people come here,
I think all immigration. I think we should have a moratorium, at least 10, 20 years on all immigration, including immigration from Europe. But
Okay.
if you're asking me if immigration from Europe would be better than the immigration that we've experienced since the 1965 Hart-Celler Act, I would say yes. I would say that, yes, the immigration from Europe obviously has a more, I would say, a better impact in the country than the immigration from,
because their cultures are more
that we've
similar to
yeah, well, I
traditional
mean, I
American
think
values.
something like over 50%, it's probably higher than this, but over 50% of people from Europe speak English. So, I mean, if we're just talking about like the most basic form of assimilation, which is language, like you can check that box off. You know what I mean? And then their children are, we're talking about shared experience. So the culture is more similar, yes. But I think that, if something has negative impacts, and those negative impacts like vastly outweigh any positive impacts, like why would that be something that you would defend? Like what positive impacts of diversity of our country becoming, 40% white or 30% white, what positive impacts can you see in that? That would be a question I would ask you. What positive impacts from that would there be?
Well, one, I was raised to believe that diversity is in itself a positive impact.
Right. So you were raised to believe that, but is that true? Yeah. Do you believe that that's true?
Yes.
Do you believe that diversity is positive?
Yes.
Okay, but why?
The
food?
Sure.
Like, I mean,
food.
like, yeah,
I mean, sure, for
like,
food, culture, music, I mean, all that stuff, yeah, but also the cross-pollination of ideas, and I think it makes everybody better and smarter and stronger, basically.
Okay, so you believe that the food is one positive impact, and you say cross-pollination of ideas.
And it's just more interesting. I mean, like when I look at, I mean, I live in Oregon,
right?
And
but do you live? And I don't want to like dox you or anything like that, but do you live close to a city in Oregon, or like, do you?
Well, I've lived in cities. I've lived in cities all my adult life,
and I've sort of moved out of a city.
And I've lived in smaller towns, but Oregon's much less. I've moved here from Los Angeles.
Yeah, why?
Because I was a personal trainer, and COVID shut my business down. And I was tired of LA. I wanted to get out.
Do you think that being against COVID shutting your business down and some of these, I don't know, what would broadly be described as more conservative policies that can possibly or potentially, well, I mean, 1 million people moved to red states since the onset of the pandemic. So obviously you're one of the many people who moved to maybe more conservative areas. I know outside of Portland, Oregon's mostly conservative.
Yeah.
Do you think that those sorts of views are connected to different peoples, I guess is the best way to put it? Do you think that, like, was COVID shutting your business down the only reason why you moved out of Los Angeles?
No, the people in Los Angeles are fake and annoying. It's a horrible city. I don't like. I mean, there's good people there and whatever, but basically, I don't like the entertainment industry or the culture of it. And I was a personal trainer in Beverly Hills, so I was exposed to a lot of I don't know, fake plasticky.
I get it. I'm from California too. I'm from Orange County originally.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
Recently, it's probably a lot more prevalent in Hollywood than it is where I was from in Orange County. But you
get what you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally understand.
But something I miss.
I think that
here is there's no diversity here. Everybody's white.
It's more of a smaller town outside of.
I live in a very white area.
Yeah.
And
so if your neighborhood all of a sudden turned 45% black and 45% Hispanic, would you move out?
No,
you wouldn't move out. Are you being honest with me?
Yeah, I used to live in Harlem. I was me and my friends were the only non-black people in any direction for 5 blocks when I lived there.
But that was when you were a kid, right? You had no potential of moving out? You had
No. I didn't grow up there. I moved there on purpose. I was 20.
You moved there on purpose.
I was 26 when I moved there.
And you moved out for a reason, right?
I mean, I lived there for a year and a half. It wasn't like it's not like I moved there thinking there'd be no black people. It's fucking Harlem.
Yeah, no, I know it's Harlem. Yeah.
Harlem is not diverse, or it is more now. And then it was not diverse. It was everybody was black.
Right. It's
so no, I would not move out if
gentrified lately, I think, right?
It has. I was part of that because this was in 2011 that I moved there. So no, I wouldn't run if I saw a bunch of black people move into my neighborhood.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like a few black people moving to your neighborhood. I'm saying if
45%.
If your neighborhood all of a sudden the next day became 45% black and 45% Hispanic, would you move out?
No.
You're saying no.
No, I'm saying no.
And you're being honest.
I'm being honest. Yeah. Why would I move out?
Because the crime is going to increase. It's going to start to look a lot shittier. It's going to be dirtier.
I think that's a reverse correlation. I don't agree with the causation implication you're saying there. I agree that high crime areas and black and Hispanic areas tend to be high crime, and poor. But like, my neighborhood is not poor. To move into my neighborhood, you can't be like a poor criminal. You'd have to be like a blue or a white collar criminal. So
yeah,
maybe like a bunch of
neighborhood.
I live in an expensive
neighborhood. Once black and Hispanic people start to move into your neighborhood, the housing values are going to go down because the crime is going to go up. And I don't agree with the correlation. Like I've met black people who have so much money that you and I couldn't never even dream of it. Yeah, that's fine. But those are anecdotal cases.
Well, my point is that if to move into my neighborhood, you have to have a certain amount of money. So I don't agree that like their blackness would just make the neighborhood become worse. I think if a bunch of like white like meth heads moved into my neighborhood, somehow the same. I don't agree with if a bunch of criminals moved into my neighborhood, then crime would increase. If you're saying per capita that black people are more often criminals, I guess that's true, but the filter of no poor people being able to move into my neighborhood would make it so that they wouldn't be, most likely.
Well, I mean, it's not poor. Like the crimes are different for the poor white population versus like a poor black population or a poor Hispanic population. I mean, you don't see in like the poor white trailer parks in Appalachia these people shooting up trailer homes. You don't see poor white people in Los Angeles or poor white people in some of these cities in California going into Walgreens or CVS stores and
these are anecdotes,
right?
Well,
these are anecdotes, right? Exactly.
So
if
you have statistics,
that's my point.
If you have statistics broken down by race and income, I maybe, I don't know. My understanding is it's not that it ain't that different.
What do you mean? No, of course it's different. Like you see a much higher rate of.
If you don't have a number, No.
Well, I'm just going to say. I mean, you're saying your understanding is that it's not different.
Okay, and your understanding is that it is. I don't have any statistics.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't have the statistics in front of me.
Violent crime rate. In, in
much
rich or middle income black areas than
much
there
higher.
are in poor white areas. Much higher. Especially with violent crime.
I guess without the numbers, I'm not going to believe you. Okay, go ahead.
The point that I'm trying to get at is that if there are all of these negative impacts and the positive impacts, the only positive impacts that you can name are the food and the culture and the music.
Well, my first point, I think
you think is a good thing.
My first point is that it has a positive impact on them.
Yeah, it has a positive impact on them, but it has a negative impact on Americans, on the American people, on us, on the nation. And it's massive and it's big.
I don't know. I don't really know what happens to the economy if you just shut down immigration, or maybe I guess now maybe you could. Well,
I mean, I can name a few things. Like for instance, like if we're just talking about,
I guess I don't know that much about the
is probably. Well, well, let me just say what I'm going to say. I think that the cultural is probably the impact that I care the most about. But as far as the economic is concerned, like, I mean, first of all, let's talk about illegal immigration. 50% of illegal immigrants are on welfare, or over 50%. 50% or over 50%, just over 50%. It's like 52% of non-white native households are on some form of welfare. And when we're talking about welfare,
isn't that not relevant? Benefits. Isn't that not relevant to whether America should stay white?
Just let me finish what I'm saying.
Well, we're both against illegal immigration. I don't.
Point
you
by
don't
point
have to,
by point.
You don't have to convince.
I'm also against illegal immigration. If we're mentioning illegal immigrants, 50-60% of illegal immigrants, and this is based off of an estimate that's given to us by like mainstream news, so it's probably higher than this, but 50-60% of illegal immigrants are on some form of welfare, but 50% of native non-white households are on some form of welfare, and this includes cash benefits, food benefits, and then you could throw in there like public education and public transportation and these sorts of things. We're talking about WIC, we're talking about food stamps, we're talking about cash benefits, and this is compared to just 23% of native white households. And so over time, we've seen this ballooning of our federal budget, which is of welfare spending in our federal budget, which is the biggest portion of our federal budget. You know, a lot of people say, well, if we just got rid of spending on war, if we just got rid of spending on airplanes or spending on tanks or, spending on guns or whatever the case may be, like we would have this grand utopia and everything would be nice and neat and good. But actually, the biggest portion of our federal spending budget is welfare. And this has been increasing over time, specifically started to really ramp up in the 1980s when waves of people started to come over here. Non-white people pay less into the system than they use. In other words, white people, aside from Asians, are the only group of people that pay more into the system than they use. And like I said, this includes cash benefits, food benefits, public education, public transportation.
But there are white people. There are also white people who use those benefits. Right.
There are, but it's a smaller percentage
it's on
of that
average,
population. On average, right? It's a smaller percentage of that population than the non-white population. And so this has been increasing because there's been an increase in our non-white population. As far as healthcare spending is concerned, which is also, you can include in the economy, in the spending budget, 75% of the U.S. healthcare spending.
Can you make this shorter?
Well, I just want to present my arguments on the.
I'll give it to you. I don't know that much about the economy, and you can have it. You can say, immigrants cost a lot of money for our government.
Yes,
and
a lot more money.
And cost more than white people.
A lot more money than they contribute to the GDP. There was an economist who was an immigrant himself, George J. Borjas. He wrote a book called We Wanted Workers. And he found that there was a surplus to our GDP from immigration since the year 2000 of $50 billion. But once you include all of this welfare spending and everything else, public education, I mean, illegal immigrants, for instance, there's like 4 million. That's the estimate.
Dude, it's like it's washing over my head. You can have it.
So
I don't care.
Right? So that's the economic.
Great.
You have
I don't know
wages.
that much about the economics. I don't really believe you, but for the purpose of this debate, I will concede the idea that, especially factoring in illegal immigrants, that white people put more money into welfare and non-white people take more money out. That might be true.
Yeah, and then you have decreased wages. You have a very large impact on the economic. Then you have a very large impact on the cultural.
Okay. So I think that. Sure. Here's my question.
Go ahead.
What I don't get is the racial lens through which you view all this. So, so you want to shut the doors to everyone coming in. Mm-hmm. Would you want to kick anybody out?
Yeah, I would say anyone who's illegally here should be removed. I think it would be actually cheaper. What I was going to say before you cut me off was that
okay.
if you
you
look
can
at
keep going
just,
if you want, but
just
I can't.
just in public education alone.
Okay.
Just in public education alone for illegal immigrants, we're talking about probably $1 trillion. Probably. If there's 4 million here, it's like 600 something billion.
I'm trying to make a point.
8 million here, it's something like $1 trillion.
Trying to make a point.
The cost of deportation would be far less.
That's fine.
So
if I'll give it to you for free.
Like way worse,
I'm asking you. This is like the porn question.
But I think that they should be kicked out. Yes, I think that
that's
they
fine.
Should be
okay.
removed.
I'm asking you. This is like the porn question.
I think that there should be teams of SWAT teams instead of focusing on like conservatives and investigating Alex
kicking
Jones,
out illegal immigrants.
Yes, exactly. Rounding up people and removing them from the country.
Would you think that we should kick anybody out who is not an illegal immigrant?
No, not if they're legally here. No.
So your view is, as soon as you get citizenship, regardless of your country of origin, race, color, creed, you should stay.
Yeah, but I think the influx of people just keeps continuing, right? So if
you had a magic
cut that off, we should.
But if you had a magic button to remove these people who are legally here but who are using the welfare system, would you like kick all the Mexicans out if you could?
No, I would address their use of the welfare system.
How would you address? No, when I say Mexicans, I mean Mexican American of Mexican descent.
No, I know what you're saying.
How would you?
I wouldn't kick them out.
So if you had a magic wand, and you could fix it, however, how would you do?
I would effectively. There has to be some sort of, because welfare spending and consumption is increasing, right? There has to.
You have a magic wand. You don't have to.
You don't
have to explain this. What would you do with it?
Well, you can't. There is no broad stroke solution to people on welfare. I believe that the government has the responsibility of taking care of its people, but I believe that there should be some sort of line drawn there. So with the recent whole COVID thing, right? A lot of people were paid not to work. A lot of people were paid to stay home. You had unemployment benefits, you have COVID relief money, and a lot of those, and then you had like a moratorium on the amount of time that these people were able to, stop paying rent, which forced a lot of like mom and pop landlords to have to sell their apartment complexes to Wall Street, basically. And so there has to be some sort of there have to be checks and balances, right? I believe that the government has the responsibility to take care of
just broad strokes, vaguely. When you said I would address their use of the welfare system, I'm just trying to understand what you mean, and what you just said did not help me understand. I literally don't understand what you mean, and I am genuinely asking. You're saying I guess here's what
more regulation of the people using welfare and the welfare benefits. And I think that should be taken into consideration. But don't get me wrong. I mean, we're focusing on the economic. What I've said.
Why are you okay with
that the cultural is probably more important for me.
Okay, so if you could
cultural impact, crime impact.
If you could kick out the last 5 million immigrants who legally immigrated here, you wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
Because you think that's wrong.
No, I think that they're here. They're American citizens. I do not want to kick out people who are non-white who are American citizens. I am saying that there needs to be some sort of moratorium on immigration. I've been asking you this entire time why you think this has been positive for our country. I'm asking you to defend your position of I've been raised to believe that diversity is good, and when I asked you what the positives of diversity are, the only thing you can mention was the food. So I'm asking you to defend that position. That's what I'm asking you to defend. And we can go over all this stuff. We can go over increased crime. We can go over the fact that 100% of the gang members in the country are like Black and Hispanic. We can go over the destruction of community and unity and homogeneity. We can go through the Robert Putnam study if you want to. I don't like
homogeneity. No, I don't.
defend your. What I'm asking you to do is defend your position that there is more positive than negative, and why diversity is a good thing.
Well, first of all, I gave you the definitional defense, which is that if you view the same way I do, that once somebody's here, they're an American. Yeah, so it's better for them.
I know. Well, I don't know if I believe that. I believe that they're an American citizen. I don't know if I would describe them as American as a white person who would, who's been here and whose maybe grandparents immigrated to the country, when they immigrated through Ellis Island. I wouldn't describe them as American, but they are an American citizen, yes. And I would not kick out people just for being non-white and American citizens. But what I'm asking you is, why is diversity? And when I'm talking about diversity, I'm not talking about diversity of thought or diversity of opinion. I'm talking about why is the fact that America is going to be minority white a good thing? Why is that a good thing?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing. I just don't think it's a bad thing. I guess I don't care. And I think that I don't get why you care so much. So I can't really speak to your economic arguments, other than to say, I mean, we're still the richest country in the world and seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, but I think that we're worse off than
but again, like
Mr. Girl, wait, do you consider yourself white?
Not when I'm on the Killstream. No.
You look white to me, but are you Jewish? You look white to me, but are you Jewish?
I'm part Jewish.
All of this is starting to make a lot of sense. The pedophile aspect, the pro-open borders aspect.
I want to engage you on
New York City.
I want to engage you on your terms.
Oh man. Okay, so now I know like a lot of this is really starting. Now it's all starting to make sense to me. So as far as like the I've been saying time and time again, like the cultural aspect is the most important to me, right? You're saying you don't get why this isn't such a negative thing to me.
No. What I don't get, like poverty is important to me.
Okay. So why would you want to increase the amount of neighborhoods that are impoverished by increasing
stop talking
the
for a second?
In the country? Go ahead. I'll let you finish, and then you let me finish. Go ahead.
You've been talking a lot, which is like fine if you want to just talk a lot, but I'm telling you, it's all like bouncing off my head. It's not landing with me because I don't. This isn't the part that I want to talk about.
We'll talk about.
Go ahead, finish.
By the way, we're gonna have super chats here in a few minutes too, so I'm gonna read all those.
Oh yeah, what time is it? We got 30 more minutes.
Yeah, about 30 minutes. But in about 10 minutes or so, we'll do super chats. But go ahead and say whatever you want, Max.
You said you don't get why this is such a big deal to me. Go ahead.
Wait, let him talk. Go ahead.
Here's what's weird to me. There's a correlation between race and crime rate that you've drawn, or race and poverty, or whatever. It's not that strong of a correlation. It's there. It's undeniable. But I don't get the hyper focus on race as the way you want to categorize these people. So like, why fixate on people who use welfare but are not white, rather than just focus on everybody who uses welfare? Or why are you concerned about black people who commit crime but not just criminals itself? What I don't get is the highly racialized lens through which you view the world. And then even with culture, I don't understand. Like you have friends who are criminals, right?
I don't know. Maybe I might have friends who are criminals.
What, do you have a record?
I do not have a record. No, I
Have
have
you
no
ever been
record
charged?
aside from like
Now, wait a
being
minute.
pulled over by the cops and for like speeding or something like that. There's one time where I got pulled over on my way to go pay a ticket for speeding. So
Okay, but you've never been convicted of a crime?
No, never been convicted of a crime outside.
And
of
and you have friends who have been convicted of crimes?
I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. Well, Ralph.
Okay, so right, we're being moderated by a criminal right now, but I just
no contest.
But Ralph is he's one of the good ones.
Well, he's white.
No, it's not because he's white. Listen, dude, you don't understand what I'm saying. You're saying I don't get the fixation on welfare benefits, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there's a long list. There's a long list of massive negative impacts on the country, whether it be the economic, whether it be the political, whether it be the cultural.
Yeah, I heard the list. I hear you.
That vastly outweigh the positive, which the only thing that you can name is food and like music. That's not worth the 50%, 80, 90% of gangs. It's not worth the graffiti. That's not worth the bulletproof glass on the local convenience store and the local Mexican neighborhood.
So stop. I get the deluge of like arguments you're making. I understand what you're saying. What I don't get is the like fixation. I don't understand why you're saying it. So like from your view, you feel like the rest of us are just brainwashed and like don't see what's happening right in front of us, right? Like the country's going to shit. Teenager or trans people are twerking in front of kids, whatever. The end times, and the rest of us actually think it's good, and you're horrified by that.
Yeah, I'm pretty horrified by it, and I wouldn't consider it. Well, maybe I would consider it like some sort of some form of brainwashing, but a lot of it has to do with the general suppression of the reality, right? The general suppression of what's actually really going on in the country. Like Black Lives Matter would be like a perfect example. Mm-hmm. Like there was an economist who
stop. I don't care. I don't care.
Hold on. I've let you go on, and I'm quiet.
You haven't really. I want to lead you.
Yes, I have.
Not really. I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
You asked me a question. You said, I'm horrified by the.
It's a fucking yes or no question. I'm trying to understand your view. And you telling me about what some economist said does not understand me. Why? Okay, I want to understand why you feel the way you do about this. Why do you care so much? That's what I don't get.
Because it's destroying the country. It's destroying the country that my 3 kids are going to grow up into. It's destroying the country that their kids are going to grow up in. It's destroying the nation. It's destroying the country. It's destroying neighborhoods. All of this together is destroying the country. And I don't know whether you care about that, but I certainly care about that.
I mean, the first thing you said was that it should be illegal to say a 14-year-old is hot, and to me, that's my destroying the country. I don't want the First Amendment to go away. That's the most important thing.
So you care more about you care more about being able to say that an 11-year-old is hot, which is what you 14, said. 11, by the way, whatever. You said 11 in your Cuties review. You think that it's more important for you to be able to say that an 11-year-old is hot.
Vince, I want to understand. I want to understand. I want
what it's turning into.
I want to understand. I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Wait, hold on. Let him get in there. Go ahead.
Who, me, him, or me?
Yeah, let him get in.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I want to understand. So, like, even if what you're saying is true, like a liberal who would agree with you would be saying, we need to get these people help. We need to do better with education. We need to do better with community engagement with the police. We need to defund the police or whatever. So, but they're like, your solution broadly is kind of racist. Do you agree with that? Like, do you consider yourself racist?
What solution? What solution?
To shut the doors, particularly, you said, especially to shut the doors to non-European countries.
No, I don't think that
do you consider yourself racist?
I do not consider myself racist.
So you don't think that?
My definition of racist is different than your definition.
Well, can I ask you? Can I give you mine?
Hold on. No, but hold on. You're asking me questions, and then you're not allowing me to speak. Or you're
I don't want to listen to you talk that much.
So then why are you asking me questions? Why are you asking?
Because I want to hear a yes or a no.
No,
it's a fucking yes or no question.
No, but hold on. You can't just say. You have a completely different definition of racist than I do.
I'll give you my definition.
My definition. Well,
do you think that non-white people, other than Asians, are genetically inferior?
No, I do not. My definition of racist is hating someone just because of the color of their skin. That's my definition of racist.
But what I'm asking you, I'm asking you if you're a white supremacist. Do you think white people are the best?
I do not. The best at what?
Genetically, inherently, and genetically the best.
I think that there is data out there that suggests that.
I don't care about the data. I'm asking you what you personally believe.
But hold on, there's differences, though. There's differences.
No, can you answer a fucking question?
Okay, hold on. This is a completely loaded question, okay?
It's not for me. Do you think white people are superior or not?
That makes no sense. That makes no sense because you can't.
Okay, you ask me. I'll give you. You ask me anything you want. You ask me anything you. Oh God, I'm fucking. On the Killstream, out of all places, I do not want to listen to somebody virtue signal because you're virtue signaling. You're virtue because I'm explaining why, because you're virtue signaling, and I don't want to listen to it. You have to stop. I can't take it anymore. I've had too much of this shit.
The Jewish comment. Are you mad because of that? Is that what you're mad
about?
Or are you mad because we started off this debate by talking about how you said 11-year-olds were hot?
No.
What are you angry about?
I'm telling you why I'm mad.
You're asking me if I think whites are superior. I say.
Do you want to know why? Do you want me to answer why I'm mad?
Why are you mad?
Because you're virtue signaling.
I'm not virtue signaling. I'm trying to
grow some fucking balls and answer a yes or no question with a yes or no.
Well, clearly you're angry. He's not saying he's white supremacist, right? Like, I mean, what do you want him to say?
I'm not. Do you think I'm going to be angry if he says that he is or that he isn't? No, I don't care. I'm angry because when I ask you a yes or no question, I don't want to listen to you talk for 5 minutes.
Okay, so hold on. There are. And
I don't have like a big binder of fucking shit I want to say. I want to have a back and forth. You just were literally reading off of a piece of paper. I
wasn't reading off of anything. My binder is blank. My binder is blank. These are notes from This is a binder that I use for notes for my show. I'm not reading off of anything.
What I'm saying is I want to ask you a series of exploratory questions. That's a loaded
question. That's a ridiculous.
I want to ask you question. I want to ask you.
All right,
other fucking races. You don't know what white supremacists. You don't know. You can't answer that because you don't know what they're supreme compared to.
No, I do not believe that. I do not believe that I, as a white person, is superior to all other races. I believe that there are aspects of different races that are inherently going to produce better outcomes.
Do you believe that white people? Do you think white people, on average, are genetically superior to any other race inherently?
When it comes to what? When it comes to
anything.
What? Yes, I think that there are things that white people, driven by their genetics, driven by their evolution over time,
damn it, just say yes,
better than other races. But I also believe that there are.
You're among friends. You could just say yes.
Well, hold on, because this is a nuanced question.
Okay, well, hold on.
It's not a nuanced question. I want a non-nuanced, short answer. You're filibustering. You're filibustering. This conversation cannot go anywhere.
I say, listen.
Shut the fuck up. Just say yes or no.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Non-white.
I honestly think.
Now wait.
I don't care. I don't care about the rest of what you're saying. If you really want to talk,
let me finish.
Okay,
you know I don't want to say this. You know I don't want to say this. There are non-white people.
Yeah.
Who, in some cases, would produce better outcomes driven by their genetics. There are also white people who, based on their genetics, will produce better outcomes in some circumstances.
About averages. I'm obviously talking about bell curves. Do they overlap? And by how much?
I think IQ is mainly driven by genetics. Yeah, I think IQ is mainly driven by genetics.
Okay, and so you think white people are? You think white people?
That's what the science says too.
Okay, and so you think white people are among the smartest of the races?
Yeah, aside from East Asians. Correct.
East Asians.
Yes.
Okay.
Which seem to have the highest average IQ.
Okay.
And I think that is genetically driven.
That's fine. Now, how big of a spread are we talking about between whites and non-whites?
I think it's
in your estimation.
I would say it's probably around maybe 60% genetic. And the rest
how big of an IQ point spread? Okay, so we've got this bell curve is white people and this bell curve is non-white people. And you're saying that this one is lower. How much lower? We agree we've both met a retarded white person before and a non-retarded black person. So we know some black people have to be smarter than some white people. We've seen this phenomenon. So what I want to know is how big of an overlap do you see between the two? Do you think it's just a 10-point difference? Do you think it's a 20-point difference? Do you think it's a 50-point difference? How big?
No, I don't think it's a 50-point difference or a 20-point difference. I think that it's about a 15. So I think that on average, from what I've seen, whites are like 100 is 15. The average. I think blacks are 85, and then I think that Asians are 105 or 110.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't. Or East Asians. I don't quite remember exactly, but that's
okay.
That's the difference.
And do you believe that this IQ difference accounts for some of the problems or many of the problems that you're describing in your nightmare scenario where my neighborhood becomes 45% black and 45% Latino? In this horror scenario, is IQ a driving factor in this?
Like, do you think that IQ is one of the major driving factors? I think that there's a variety of different things. I think that there's probably You also have.
Yeah, I don't care. It's just I want to talk you through how I see what you're saying.
Okay, go ahead. You can continue.
Okay, I'm not trying to attack you. You call me a Jew or a pedophile. That's fine. I'm not
both,
angry.
Right, it's both, right?
Or both. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of both and a sprinkle of pixie dust. That's fine. I don't personally have any animosity towards you, and I'm not trying to attack you. I'm genuinely trying to understand your view. Here's what is weird to me. That the difference between a crime-ridden hellhole and a white picket fence happy utopia is 15 points in IQ on average.
No, it's not just the IQ.
But it's a big part of it. It is what you're saying.
I think it's one part. I don't think it's the major part, though. I think that
so if there was an ethical way,
I'm not even sure. But I know that there are certain behavioral differences.
I'm not sure either. I'm not talking about. I don't want to know what you're sure about. I want to know what you believe. I'm trying to understand your beliefs.
I'm trying to tell you what I believe.
So here's a question. If there was an ethical way to blip to Thanos all the non-white people out of the country and have your white utopia without killing anybody, they would just go to another dimension where they're very happy. Do you think that would be good for the country?
I think that if the country was what it was like back in 1950,
yeah, but if we could accomplish this,
it
with
it would be better off for the country.
melanin Thanos snap. As a partial Jew, would I have the honor of being included in the people who are disappearing?
I don't know. How much Jewish are you?
I think three eighths.
No, come on. You're lying about that. Just like you're lying that you wouldn't move out of your city if you moved out of LA because it became a shithole. Okay, let's just.
That's fine. You can think
I'm lying. that you did. You're also lying that you wouldn't move out of your neighborhood if it all of a sudden became like minority.
That's fine
because it would turn to shit. You would move. You would move.
That's fine. You can give your opinion on my honesty as you see fit.
Let's hear these super chats in a sec. Go ahead, finish your thought. Finish your sentence. I don't want to cut you off. I thought you.
Well, let him finish and then let me say something.
Okay, that's fine. And then
I want to go down this. I want to go down this thought experiment for a little bit.
Well, I gotta get these.
No, because listen, you just keep asking me questions and then I don't get to say anything.
Yes, that's what I want for just a little while.
No.
You can say no. I can't make you. That's fine.
No, you don't get to do that.
You can say no. Okay, but if you want to know what if you want to know what I think, you're gonna have to come with me.
Wait.
No, that doesn't make any sense. It
makes
basic,
sense. You just don't want to.
You're trying to create this like abstract. It's like you're trying to get around the argument. It's very basic. It's very simple, dude. What it comes down to,
if you don't want to answer hypothetical questions, that's fine.
And what it comes down to is,
I already heard what you think it comes down to. I want to tell you what I think it comes down to.
Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
It's very simple. What it comes down to is when America becomes minority white, it's not going to be America any longer, and it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good for the country.
That's a semantic argument. That's fine.
No, that's not. That's the truth. That is the truth.
Are you literally saying you will not answer? You will not answer hypothetical questions. Is that true?
I'm not going to go down this road of you asking me abstract questions and then we spend the rest of the time of you asking me questions when I get interrupted every time I try to answer those questions.
Could I have 2 minutes of asking you questions without you giving long answers?
If you give me 5 minutes of no, I'm not, because it depends on the question. No, I'm not going to go down this road with you.
Okay.
Now, what about hypothetical? What's the value of hypothetical questioning like that?
Because it helps me understand his views. It helps me understand his views on how things should be, rather than his views about how things are. And it helps me separate what of this is racially motivated, and what of this is. I guess I just feel like the way white nationalists present their arguments is usually purposefully blurring these lines, and I want to unblur them. And I know that most people can't tolerate this conversation because they get stun-locked by you calling them a pedophile or a Jew, or you being too racist, or not wanting to be associated with you, or not wanting to be nice to you, or not wanting to listen to you. And I don't have any of those problems. So I genuinely don't understand why you think the way you do. I would like to.
I think the way I do because I see this shit with my own eyes.
I know why you think the way
your own eyes.
I know why you think
shit happening with your own eyes.
I know why you think you got to where you are, but I want to find out for myself.
What I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying. What I want to know, I want to know is
how I got to this point.
You think I want to know why you think. I want to know if you think. For the last question I asked you was, would you Thanos snap me out of the country because I'm 3/8 Jewish? And you said you don't believe
that you're 3/8 Jewish, but
let's imagine
it wouldn't be because of the Jewishness, but I would probably Thanos snap you out of the country because you're a pedophile.
Based on the Jewishness, based on the Jewishness alone, 3/8.
No, not based on the Jewishness alone. No.
Okay, would you Thanos snap?
There's a lot of Jewish people that I actually like. So no, not just based on the Jewish.
Okay, so you would not Thanos snap Jews out of the country.
No, I wouldn't Thanos snap Jews out of the country, but I would Thanos snap you out of the country.
You already said that. Okay, so here's one last question. Would you Thanos snap? Are we primarily Thanos snapping non-whites out of the country because of their lower IQs, in your view, higher criminality?
What do you mean, in my view?
I mean, I don't want to get clipped saying this and get banned.
What do you mean? So that's why you're not honest. See, I'm on. See, that's the difference between me and you. I can have an honest look.
I couldn't agree more.
You're on all the mainstream platforms.
Can you shut the fuck up for a second and let me ask my question? Can you please? Can you stop fucking filibustering and let me ask this question?
I'm not filibustering. You're filibustering. You're not allowing me to speak this whole entire time.
I literally just said I want you to stop talking. will you agree
of the country. I have an honest view of the country. I have an honest view of what's going on. I can identify. I am saying the things that probably most people are thinking but are afraid to say, just like you are.
I understand.
That's the difference between me and you.
Yes. Okay. Next question. If you could Thanos snap, not the dark correlation.
We're not going to continue. We're not going to continue down this path.
This is my last question.
Okay, what it comes down to.
This is my last question. This is my final question. This is my final question.
No more final questions. No more final questions from you. What it comes down to.
Are you leaving the debate?
No, I'm not. I'm not leaving the debate. We're going to stay.
And so we're going to continue the debate, but I can't ask any more questions.
It's up to the Ralph. I only got 15 minutes left, but it's up to Ralph.
We got about 15 minutes. We're trying to look. Just how about this?
If you ever want me to come back on the Killstream again, you have to make him answer this question.
I can't make
it. Oh my god, dude!
He just said it was up to you.
Well, what question are you asking?
What is wrong with this guy?
I can't make him. I can't make him.
Why don't
you can tell him that he has to ask.
I'll say my outro, and we'll go to the super chats, and then.
Here's my last question. And if you don't answer this, that's fine. You don't have to. But here's the question: if instead of Thanos snapping out all of the dark people, you could just get the 100% correlation and Thanos snap out all of the people with low IQ. All of the criminal-prone, stupid people, retarded people, genetically inferior people, regardless of race. Because we agree it's not a one-to-one correlation. So instead of one super race, one white race, you'd be left with people who actually are culturally homogenous, who are the pure American, even though they don't all look the same. They would be the smartest.
I knew I shouldn't have agreed to this.
They would be the smartest American super people, because there is not a one-to-one correlation to race, which we agree. Would you do that? Or is the racial part more important?
Well, we can't Thanos snap.
I actually, well, number one, we can't do that. Number two, this is retarded. Number three, I probably wouldn't do that because I'm Christian, because I'm.
Yeah, it's still.
And then, lastly, so this is like.
My question is, do you think that would be ideal? Do you think it would be better? I'm not asking you if you would literally Thanos snap.
Do I think that it would be better for the country?
Better than just getting rid of all the non-white people? Would it be better? Would it be better to get rid of all the bad people than to get rid of all the non-white people? That's my question.
But unfortunately, when you do get rid of those people, unfortunately, it's going to get rid of a lot, probably mostly non-white people. And
that's not my question. My question is knowing.
Yes, and unfortunately, it's probably going to be mostly non-white people
so you're not strictly a white supremacist.
Yes, that would be better for the country.
Okay.
But it would be, if you were to do that, it would be mostly non-white people. When you use the term loaded terms like white supremacist and neo-Nazi and these sorts of things, these don't mean anything to me. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect most of the people watching on the Killstream right now. And they don't. These are terms that don't even mean.
I'm not trying to trigger you. I don't think that's even true.
Racist interchangeably.
Wait. By your own numbers, you know that the country is like 70% white. I don't think it would be.
White, no.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I don't think it would be mostly non-white people.
Really have to Thanos snap people to keep the country majority white.
I understand. You want to let him out of the hypothetical, but before we do that, I would like to respond and say that it's actually there are more white criminals in the United States than black criminals. Not per capita, but the raw numbers. I don't think it would. I think the group that you'd be getting rid of would include quite a lot of white people.
Well, you also included in there people with low IQs, people with different problems. You didn't.
You're saying a 15 point.
People.
You said a 15. You said a 15. You said a 15-point spread.
Yeah, you're probably right. If we're talking about a bigger amount of people, it would probably be a lot of white people.
Okay, so my question, what I want to get at,
no more questions, guy. No more questions. Okay?
I'm not trying to get you to answer a question. I'm just explaining why I asked it.
You already asked enough questions.
Okay.
You said you want to try to come to an understanding of why I think the way I do.
I have. I would like to tell you my understanding.
You talked about you didn't want to be clipped, so you didn't want to answer certain questions. That's fine.
I don't want to be clipped saying something I don't believe.
No, but hold on. Hold on.
Let's hear
I think that you understand what I'm saying today. I think that you probably even agree with most of what I'm saying today. You just don't have the balls to admit it. What I
just told you I think 11-year-olds are hot, and you think I don't have the balls to admit your fucking pussy takes on race?
Well, see, because you
Come on,
view
man.
pedophiles as better than someone who's racist. See, that's where we have a big disagreement, because I see pedophiles as way, way worse than, and that you can say those things online. Apparently, you're on all the mainstream platforms. But see, I see pedophiles as way worse than people you would consider to be racist.
Are you jealous of my mainstream pedophile
I'm not jealous.
success?
You're on all the mainstream platforms, but have way less views than I do per video. So it doesn't matter to me.
How many views do you have per video?
I don't know. I looked at your channel and you had like 300 videos that you uploaded or something like that, and you had like 1 million views. So you
how popular are you? How big are you right now? How many views do you have per video?
I don't actually know. I don't
How many views did you have?
I'm syndicated across all.
How many views did you have when you got kicked off YouTube, Vince?
Probably 100 million or something like that. I'm not sure.
That's a lot.
Total.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Had like 300,000 subscribers. But anyway, to close, before we get into the super chats here, and I could probably stay to like 8:45.
That'd be cool.
But to close. Well, because like it takes like 20 minutes to get where I'm going, and so I could probably do like 8:45, but it has to be like hard stop 8:45.
Okay.
Well, to close, my closing statement would be this.
Okay.
Very similar to the initial statement. There are effects on the diverse America that we have today, and those effects are economic. They're political, they're cultural, they affect crime, they affect neighborhoods completely changing, neighborhoods completely being destroyed. And these effects, all of these negative effects put together, outweigh all of the positive perceived effects that you can come up with in terms of the diversification of our country. The only positive effects, when I've asked this question to you and I've asked this question to other people, the only positive things that they can come up with are things like food, things like music, things like culture. Those are the only things that they can say. And what I'm saying is that those things are not worth all of this. And if you have something where the negative impacts of that something vastly outweigh the positive impacts, why would you support those things? And the only thing that I have heard from him is that because I was raised to believe that diversity is good. I believe that diversity is good, and it's because of the food. It's because of the music. And so what I'm saying is that the negative outweighs the positive, and that it's only going to become worse as America becomes increasingly non-white. And it's not going to be a good thing. And I think that probably the majority of the people, especially the majority of the white people out there, probably view this the same way, but are afraid to say it.
All right, go ahead, Max. I'll let you get a little final statement here too, and then we'll do some super chats and maybe even get a call or two. I see a couple people chomping a bit. Maybe we can get a couple in. Go ahead, just real quick, get your final thoughts in. Well, quote unquote, we'll still be here. But.
I think racism is sloppy, and I think that in answering that hypothetical, you proved that you're not really a racist. In the white supremacist Nazi sense that most people use the word. That when it comes down to it, you really do believe in these correlations. And you also agree that racism is sloppy. You said that you would Thanos snap the non-white people out, but if you could do an even more precise Thanos snap and just Thanos snap out the bad people, you would do that instead. So I think there are people who would rather Thanos snap out the non-white people than Thanos snap out some of their white, but more criminal-prone or low IQ white brethren. My view is just that it's I guess it's just depressing. I think it's what's the word? Cynical to use something with such a with whether there's a correlation or not, it's not a very strong correlation, as a way to identify people separate them and hate them, group together with people who are like you or who look like you but are not really like you. And I'm not. You keep asking me what the benefit of diversity is. But
what's
I'm
the
saying
benefit
that
of the country remaining, or what's the benefit of the country not being majority white? Like, what's the benefit of that?
I don't want to be Sweden or whatever. Any of these other Norway, these other countries where all of the poor people who contribute to the economy live in a different country, and they import or export all of the labor that way. Maybe I'm just optimistic, but I would rather strive for I guess a better way for us to cooperate and live together.
Wait, what? You don't want to be majority white? You don't want the country to remain majority white, or it's
I don't
better
care.
for the country to become minority white because you don't want to be Sweden because they import immigrants to go to work for them? What? I don't understand what you're saying there.
I'm saying every country relies on.
Sorry, go ahead. Finish
has poor people as part of their economic process.
Yeah, but the poor people are not contributing more than what they're gaining from the system. They
right. So you want
GDP,
the poor people to live somewhere else.
No. What I'm saying is that these thousands of extra poor, high crime areas that are shitty, and this number is only increasing. Those wouldn't exist if America was majority white, and that this is only going to get worse.
It would exist just somewhere else.
Becomes more minority white,
but it would exist. It would just be somewhere else.
Yeah, it would be in where the people come from. Right, exactly. Why import those people here to destroy the country, to destroy our neighborhoods, to make our country worse off than it was before? Why import people who are going to form these thousands of extra poor, high crime areas that we have to pour billions of dollars into, and we have to police nonstop? Or I guess the police have mostly pulled out of these areas because of Black Lives Matter, and now they're just killing each other. But you understand what I mean. Why import those people? Why bring those people in to the extent that the majority of the country is going to become
I get the way you see it.
And how is that going to be good? Do you think you're going to be treated good when you're going to be perceived as white?
We got to stop after that, and we have to do super chats, or we're not going to be able to do them. So go ahead, Mr. Girl, answer that if you want, and then we're going to stop there, and I'm going to answer. I'm going to read these out. Go ahead.
Why? Because it's heartless, man.
What?
It's just heartless. It's
you know what? Just put a pin in it. Let me read these.
Well, no. I'm saying it's immoral.
All right, that's fine. We'll leave it there. K-Max McDonald says, instead of better, Mr. Girl, why can we not say Western nations fit white people better and Eastern nations Asian people, African continent?
Wait. Hold on, Ralph. It's immoral to stop the country from becoming minority white? What about the people who this is affecting? Like, how is
I'm
that
saying that the
immoral?
way that you view the problem and the solution, I think, is inherently immoral. Yeah.
No, it's not.
I think
immoral.
treating people
it's
badly
pragmatic.
because
it's realistic.
it is sure pragmatic, but like that's why people call you a Nazi, because you put pragmatism and data-driven harsh solutions that rip apart families and make people sad and
what are you talking about? How is this not making people sad and making people's life worse off and ripping apart families?
Don't you think the country would be a better place if we took every disabled person and just killed them all?
No, I don't think that the country would be a better place.
Listen,
why not? They take more out of the disability fund than they put into it. Why not?
No, I don't think that disabled people. I don't think you can take.
They're expensive
people and not. If we're talking about, well, do you believe that? Do you believe that we should by taking all the disabled people out of the country, it would be better for the country?
No, but I'm making a moral argument that the reason
But hold on. But you're saying, well, why not? They're expensive. They're this. They're that. You're trying
because
to
killing people is wrong.
But hold on a second. No one's talking about killing people. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about weighing moral. I'm saying being racist.
Becoming minority white is bad for the country, and you're saying, well, because it would be bad. It would be bad. That's your only answer. That's the only answer you've come up with all night. The only answer is like, well, I would feel bad if we did that.
Why don't you like it when I drool over 11-year-old girls? What's wrong with that?
It's because that is actually immoral.
How so?
That is actually disgusting.
It's disgusting. Let's talk about disgust. Is disgust a feeling?
Yes, disgust is a feeling. Like,
so do you think it's immoral for me to make these? Do you think it's immoral for me to make these videos?
I would say
it makes you feel bad
for you to feel
right.
The way that you do, to be attracted to the things that you are.
Yeah,
I would say that it's immoral
it upsets
for sharing
you.
those things with other people. Now, what you're asking is, isn't it immoral to want to stop the country from being minority white? No, it's not immoral because it would help the people of the country to a greater extent than it would hurt people. So if we
your wife's Brazilian,
there are billions of people. Yeah, she's white. She's mostly Italian.
Because I was gonna say, like, how do you you don't think it hurts non-white Americans to
what number? What's the number? What's the number of people that should be able to come into the country? What number? Where would you draw the line?
I'm fine with restricting immigration.
No. Where would you draw the line?
I don't know.
Billion? Is it 2 billion? Like, where would you draw the line?
$1 billion seems high. I'm fine with restricting immigration. I'm fine with restricting illegal immigration. What I'm disturbed, and I'm not really arguing against those points.
Are you fine with like an immigration moratorium for like 20 years?
No, that seems harsh, and it seems
time people to assimilate, because assimilation has been completely wiped away. Like,
do you want me to answer your questions?
Go ahead and answer. Yeah. Why does that seem harsh?
Okay, like building the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's my problem with it is not the idea of building a wall that people can't climb over. That's fine. What disturbs me about your worldview and what I don't agree with is your reasons for doing so. It's the lens through which you look at the world that I'm disturbed by, not so much the individual components of your argument. I find it cynical and depressing and immoral. Because what you're saying, even if what you're saying is true, what a heartbreaking, miserable, sad thing to hear for everybody who isn't white.
Well, the problem is that a lot of non-white people agree with us, right? A lot of non-white people agree
some
with
of them
me on
do.
These arguments. A lot of them move out of neighborhoods simply because more of their people who look like
but they're not going around. They're not going around saying the same things that you're saying.
Yeah, but I think the thing is that I'm saying the things that most people are thinking. I'm saying the things that you probably deep down agree with me on, and you just don't want to say.
I don't think that's true.
I think that that's true.
Well, I think you deep down think 11-year-olds are hot when they twerk.
Well, that's definitely not true.
Well, how do we know? It's your word against mine.
I think we should go to super chats right now. That's what I think.
This coming from the guy calling my arguments immoral. Go ahead.
Now, K-Max, thank you, man. There's no way I'm going to get to all. You're very generous. He says, would Mr. Girl believe, I'm going to get to some, though. Would Mr. Girl say a plurality is best for all nations? China, minority Chinese, Japan, minority Japanese. What is
this guy wants America to turn into China. He wants to get rid of free speech. He wants us to all be the same race and all think the same way. And like as a world power empire, actually, it's very successful.
I do, kind of like
yes, you do. China's I don't want to. I look at China and I think I don't want to fucking live there. I don't care how nice it is or how much money they make or how powerful they become. It's fucking boring and totalitarian and shitty. I don't want to live there. It looks terrible.
Turbo says, Vince, do you believe whites are genetically superior at not committing crime?
Yes.
K-Max says, for Vince, what if we did not get the demographics we want, but the media started treating us the way they treat black people now? They cover when whites are victims. They address our grievances. Would media treatment make a difference even without a majority?
I think media treatment certainly would make a difference. Like if the media were to tell the truth about Black Lives Matter instead of, having all these economists fired for speaking out against this, like that would have probably uncovered incidents like George Floyd and Rayshard Brooks and some of these other things.
Vince, when did you first get interested?
Well, hold on. I'm answering the super chat.
Well, let him. Hold on. Wait. Let him.
Oh, yes. Jesus Christ.
Jesus
Christ, back to you.
I don't want to use the Lord's name in vain. I apologize for that.
I accept your apology. As a Jew, I forgive you. I forgive you.
Well, I'm not asking for your apology. I'm asking.
Well, I'm the most related to Jesus out of any of us, and I forgive you.
But that's not true. But anyway,
it is true. You don't think Jesus was a Jew? Whoa! You don't think Jesus was a Jew?
Jeez, Ralph. Why do you bring me into these situations?
Are you? You're not one of those. You're not one of those weirdos. You're not one of those weirdos who thinks Jesus was black, are you?
As soon as I start, oh my god.
Well, you know what? When you see all the people that watched it, you'll change your mind. Anyway, go ahead.
So, if the media were to tell the truth about these particular things, I think that would make the situation a hell of a lot better. The problem is they're not going to. These things are only going to get worse, and the media is only going to get worse. So the country's only going to get worse. Plain and simple like that.
When did you first get interested in this stuff? Like, when did you...
No, just stop. Hold on. You know what? And he's got to go here in a few minutes. If you want to stay longer, you can. It's up to you.
I want to know for the super chats as long as
I want to know when you
done within
when you became like this.
Well, hold on. Wait. Let him finish.
Dude,
you can't.
Up, dude.
No, wait. You gotta let him speak.
You gotta go move on with the super chat.
Well,
answer the super chat.
Well, that's the thing. What were you gonna say on the time? I'm watching the clock too at the same time.
If you can get through the super chats, I'll stay through the super chats if you can get through all of them within the next like 15 minutes.
Okay, that's fair.
I actually have to be where I need to be by 9, and it takes. Maybe I could probably get there in like 15 minutes. So I guess maybe we need to hurry up. We probably need to hurry up.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't want to mess you up. And I was saying
I can be a few minutes late though. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Jay over on Cash App says, watching on Odyssey. Thanks for the show. Thank you. Much appreciated. K-Max Turbo, Winston, everybody there. Oh, wait. Winston says, Mr. Girl, you said in your debate with Lauren Southern, morality is based on how you feel. People feel different across different cultures. How do you support migration into the West when these people come from third world cultures?
That's why we vote. I mean, American morality will change, and it has changed. I would say it's improved. I know Vince James and some people in the audience are not going to. I know you see you shaking your head. I think the morality, especially racial morality, and how we treat people who look different from us, has improved vastly over the last 50, 60 years, the period that he's talking about.
And yet their crime rates continue to get higher per capita. Very interesting, right?
I don't
further
treat
away from segregation, further away from slavery.
I don't treat black people well because I think I can pry them into obedience.
Still continue to climb per capita.
That's not relevant to what I'm talking about. I think it's immoral to treat people poorly regardless of how they behave in society.
All right. Now,
as a Christian, I would assume you would agree.
Now, let me read these. Lord Aragorn says Vincent won by default. Then he says, "Hail Vincent." Neon Noir says, "Take your Adderall, you tard." Every time he mentions a source, you start moaning. Where's the certain IQ he mentions? Rooftop Carolinian says, "Explain shirt, fistula, degeneracy, or hand rubbing." Your shirt? I don't know. I can't tell. What's on your shirt?
I made a video called "Hand Washing Instructions."
I haven't seen that.
I'll send it to you. I think you'd enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, okay, all right. So, honestly, I have like 3 different thoughts of what that might be, and all 3 are very.
All 3 are correct.
Dizzy says this is pedophile. I think that was a joke about pedophilia. Fat Loss Media says communism on Europe was by forced multiracial mixing. The goal of immigration was to create a type of superhuman devoid of uniqueness. Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, the Baltic Revolt. I think is what it says. Baltic Revolt. I think maybe is whatever. Immigration is a weapon. It can be weaponized. USA is not communist, but this tactic is being used. Dizzy says you can do it. Debate. We're all here for the dolphin. Based at Icefield says Vince, you got this. It's going to be an easy one. Dizzy says Brad Paisley, Whiskey Lullaby. I guess he's making a request there. We also have these TTSs. I'm not sure if any came in. I'll have to check the source here. Oh.
Whoa.
9% $4 IQ is 85% genetic caused by age 18. And this domination corresponds with age. Children are more malleable, but education will not have a lasting effect on IQ. This rise in genetic cause corresponding with age is known as the Lewis effect.
Mr. Girl's rabbi sent $3. Hello, fellow white person. You are among friends here.
Thank you.
Just my students, yes or no questions, Goyim. We promise we are not trying to trap you.
Oh, I'm definitely trying to trap you.
Anonymous sent $3, Mrs. Girl. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Let that lisp fly. Night Driving Avenger sent $3, Mr. Girl. You're getting mad because your Jewish tricks don't work here. Seed. Low IQ pedo trash.
This is the beauty of Odyssey.
Neon Nika sent $3. The USA should remain majority white because we need a homeland to be safe and prosperous. It's as simple as that. Let Mr. Girl ask his fellow Jews why they think Israel should exist, and he will get a grasp of why the USA should be a majority white.
I don't think that Israel should be an ethno-state either.
On for the head.
Now, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think Israel should be an ethno-state either. I have all the same problems with Israel that I do with your pure white America.
Fair enough.
So do you think that Israel would still be Israel if all the Jews were gone?
No.
Exactly.
But fucking change the name and make it something else. I don't care. I'm anti-racial unity. I think it's cynical.
Do you think that Israel would be better if it was all not Israelis, not Jewish? Like, do you think it would be better?
Israel would be better if they were not racist.
No, do you think it would be better if it was all Arabs? Do you think it would be a better country?
No, I think that we should. I think that the exerting power and authority over trying to control the color makeup of your country is a innately shitty thing to do. I think it's immoral. While I agree with you that there are loose correlations to problems it could solve, I think it's an immoral way to try to approach those problems.
They're not loose correlations, first of all. Second of all, I'm asking you a question. Just answer the question. You're the one who's talking about how you're skating away. I don't want to get clipped. I don't want to get clipped.
Hit me. I'll answer.
Would the country of Israel be better off if it was all not Arabs, right? Let's say if it was all Nigerians. Let's say, would Israel be a better country if it was all people from the Republic of Congo?
It'd be the same.
It'd be the same. It'd be the same exact country. But you just said very recently that it would not be the same country.
Oh, I didn't know what your question meant. My point is that it'd be a group of people trying to make everything like themselves and protect themselves. And like I have empathy for you, and I understand why you.
So you don't think when America?
Let me finish. I have empathy for you, and I understand why you feel threatened and why you want to defend your people. And I feel the same way about Israel, but ultimately, I think it's immoral.
But hold on, would Israel still would be a better country? Would it be better?
It'd be a different country.
But would it be better than it is now? Like, would you be able to fly into Israel? Like, would it be better than it is now overall, in general?
I don't know. I'm picturing Israel, but with different colors, and you're asking me to picture what it would be like if a different race took it over. But I don't.
Let's say if the Palestinians took Israel over, would it be better off than it is today?
It'd be Palestine as it is now, like very poor and less educated. Probably not.
So not better, right? Yeah, exactly. And that's my argument, right? It wouldn't be better. It wouldn't be a better country.
I understand, but I'm saying even if that's true, I think that it is immoral.
Why not stop the thing that's causing that?
Because the thing that's causing it, by your own admission, is not race.
It's immigration from people. It's immigration of people who are mostly non-white. That's what's causing it.
It's crime and stupidity. I'm with you on trying to stop. Whether it's imported or homegrown, so a lot of it's also grown here, and I'm with you on trying to stop those things. I've already
said, like, it's not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a poor white person.
We agree that it would be more ideal to find a way to help people live productively in the society.
And that ideal way would be to stop all immigration for at least.
What if there was a way to let immigration continue, but help people successfully integrate in a way that you found acceptable?
But see, that's the thing. There is no integration anymore. There is no assimilation anymore.
What if there were?
No, I think that we still need to halt all immigration.
Just because the population's too high?
Population, well, all the things that I said. Population's too high. You have no assimilation right now. Soon,
I'm asking you hypothetically.
To assimilate into.
Hypothetically, if there was a way to.
Bullshit. Right. We were just actually starting to get somewhere here, and now all of a sudden you're going into this like craziness.
I don't think it's crazy to ask you a hypothetical question.
Well,
You just don't, okay. You don't want to answer it. That's fine.
Okay, go on, Ralph. Go ahead.
Well, we've had look. I'm not against hypothetical always. We have had quite a few. No.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
All right.
All right. Well, if you want to answer it.
By the way, did you buy that truck, Ralph?
I'll repose it to you.
I did. Yeah, it's out there outside my house. Yeah.
Is that what year is that?
Nissan Frontier 2022.
Hell yeah.
4x4.
I need something like that. I need 4-wheel drive out here in Idaho.
Yeah, dude, I got stuck in that snow on I-95. That bad.
Dude, I'm struggling. There was a bad storm there, right?
Yeah, it was really bad. I was in the middle of it for about 8 hours. Yeah, it won't happen again with this 4x4. I'll say that. Lily Fang.
Lily Fang spent $5. China is shining
Lily
example
Fang.
of
Sounds
ethnic
familiar.
homogeneity and social harmony. Mr. Girl is faggot liberal 白左. No good. We have most effective re-education program in world for pedos come.
All right, go ahead,
Tom
Tom.
AF sent $3. Would Israel be a pedo haven even if it was entirely Arab? Probably.
All right, now are we caught up? I think maybe. Let's see. We did have a couple callers. I know that Dalton Clodfelter wanted to get in.
Go ahead.
Sure. Go ahead, Dalton. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, man? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I just want to say that this guy is a gross faggot, and you can see by the way he squirms around everything.
Don't talk about Vince James that way. Come on, man. Be kind to the guests.
Gross. Everything you say, you have a question mark at the end of your fucking sentence because you have no fucking confidence. You fucking faggot.
Based?
Does that
Suck my
make
dick?
sense? You stop doing that shit.
I like
Gross
this Dalton
fucking
guy.
balls.
Tom sent $3, Mr. Girl.
I like this Dalton guy. He should have a channel on cozy.tv.
About little girls.
Yeah, I think I should.
Virginian sent $3. Yo, Mr. Pedo. Fuck you. You fucking hedonistic fuck. That is all.
I am hedonistic. That's true.
Markham sent
I think
$10.
that's
Vincent
probably
raises
accurate.
children. Mr. Girl wants to molest them.
No, wait a minute.
They are not the same.
All right, Mark. Come on.
Markham sent $3. No more final questions.
No,
Only
wait a
final
minute.
solutions.
No, wait a minute.
Thanos snap sounds gay.
Bobby McBobface sent $3. If Mr. Girl could Thanos snap a 14-year-old girl that was made to be perfectly attractive to him, and he could have sex with her, she wants to have sex, and no one else would know. Would he do it?
What do you say?
What? What's the
Oh,
question?
I have to go back and look that up and read it out again.
Yeah, read it. To me.
Basically, if you could Thanos snap. Wait, hold on. I have to read it. It's kind of if Mr. Girl could Thanos snap a 14-year-old girl that was made to be perfectly attractive to him, and he could have sex with her, she wants to have sex, and no one else would know. Would you do it?
No.
Yes, you would. Shut the fuck up. Yes, you would.
Oh, Dalton still here?
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah. All right. Well,
Wait. Do you? If you could Thanos snap me to make me more of a pedophile, so I would say yes to that question. Would you?
I would Thanos snap you into oblivion. You'd be gone, bitch.
But if you could make me into more of a pedophile, so you'd be
I'm
right.
not
Would
playing
you?
your
Do
gay
you?
hypotheticals. That's fucking lame. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
All right. Let me turn it back on. Damn, I lost my place. Okay. Are they going to start back, or do I have to start them back?
Hey, where are these from, by the way?
Powerchat.live.
So I need to get on that. I see everyone's using that.
You need to
Hey,
get on.
Vince, message lols.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
It's
All right, got
definitely a game changer for sure. Shout out to Laws. I hope his recovery
Really?
well with his. Yeah, it really is. Shout out to Laws. I hope his recovery's going well with his leg break there. Nasty, and I saw the pins and stuff they put in it. So shout out Turbo. Go ahead.
Turbo sent $3. He sent and says, bucks to get my shit read out and the goon skips half of
I
it.
didn't skip it.
Just throw your
Hey, I
joke,
read
man, or
that.
I'll have to reconsider.
Okay, well, don't
donating to your
donate then,
solicitor
faggot.
fee.
Kill yourself then, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Think I give a shit? I seen them coming. I seen them go, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you do, faggot. Go ahead.
Shin-chan 256B sent $10. So the Japanese have been expelled from 109 countries. Let's Thanos snap to make it 110. Good. When Bible go to glorious mineral mines in Africa for a great beautiful China land. We wait for Bible.
Mount Hale sent $3 sticks and Ram's Paul are way different this late. Lol.
That's true.
Cheers, Ralph.
By the way, I did read out Turbo's super chats on Entropy, and I read out the Entropy super chats before anything else. So, bitch, I hope you fucking choke to death this week.
Wait, what did they say? I wasn't paying attention. What did they say?
Because they all might to reconsider donating and Ralph skip my super chats. Bitch, I'll read them when I get to them. If you don't,
okay.
then you're too fucking stupid to live, you motherfucker. Okay.
I thought they were mad because you had this guy on or whatever.
Well, I don't think so. Whatever.
Yeah, this is pretty much an anything goes debate. Debate central.
Anything but hypotheticals. Not anything.
Match seems to be more libertarian than anything else. Vince doesn't seem to comprehend his epistemological arguments. Respect for taking the heat.
Ming-Lao
sent $3. Please let Big Tech Onion in Ralph. We love you.
All right, why not? We're not gonna get everybody in though, and I'm not gonna keep.
So
everybody.
can you super chat in any link, like in any accent?
Yeah, there's like several different voices. There's like an Indian voice, a fucking, the Chinese accent. I think there might be a Japanese one too. There's several different accents. Yeah, there's a Australian.
And you can wait to play them till the end, huh? That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
you can stop them from playing in the middle of your stream and then just play them at the end.
Yeah, and it has a button on there too that I can press and stop them even during the middle of them and stuff. It's pretty,
all right, listen, I don't want to get banned from YouTube, so I'm concerned about you playing all these TTS
that's fair.
messages.
Yeah, that's fair. I think they're pretty much caught up now. Anyway, I know Big Tech Onion wanted to ask you something. Go ahead, Big Tech Onion. I definitely understand not wanting to catch a straight.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Big Tech. You there?
Yeah, Mr. Girl, you are exhibiting what we see on this channel a lot lately.
See, I can stop. Go ahead.
Oh,
no, go ahead.
Should I continue?
Maybe in theory. Go ahead. Now go ahead. Can't
the
stop
leftist mentality is feminist, it's pedophile, it's Jewish, whatever you want to call it. It's
whatever
angle of the powerless looking for equality and fairness, and you're calling that morality. That's not what morality is. Morality is based on reality. It has to do with like transactional value. It has to do with there's costs being inflicted on our people, and we're not being repaid for those costs.
Wait, aren't you saying the exact aren't you saying you're becoming powerless, and that other people like me are coming into power, and you want your power back? So you're arguing that we should give it to you?
No, we are coming into awareness of what's being taken from us, and
you are becoming disempowered, but at the same time, you're arguing for survival of the fittest. And you're complaining that the system is changing to a new one in which you are no longer the fittest. And ironically, I actually do hold those Jewish pedo-democrat values that say that I don't think this should happen to you. I agree. I don't think that white people should be disenfranchised. I am against the anti-white sentiment. I do have problems with Black Lives Matter, just like Vince does. I don't agree that you should be disenfranchised and forgotten about and hated.
The question is,
but you support the very thing that's causing it.
You don't know what I support. What, immigration? I don't even support immigration. I agreed with you that I don't really have a. I support immigration broadly, but I'm not for opening the floodgates, and I'm not for opening the floodgates to illegal immigration. I agree with you. There should be restrictions. I don't have strong opinions on what they should be. I'm just horrified by your motivations behind the restrictions you'd like to impose. Not so much the restrictions themselves.
I'm diagnosing your motivations, and I want to hear your reaction to this. Your motivations are feminine. They are the type of motivations that your type of morality is like, it's like a woman who wants equality for the children, like equal amounts of peanut butter and jelly on the pieces of bread for all the sandwiches, and all the kids get fed equally. But reality has to do with excellence. And our culture and the masculine mindset recognizes excellence, and you're completely disregarding that. Excellence is what builds the world, not equality and equity.
But you see the contradiction there, where you're saying that if excellence, if the definition of excellence changes so that you are no longer excellent, you're actually just not excellent anymore, and you're trying to change it back to one in which you are excellent.
But the reason why white people don't have the power anymore is because America is becoming minority white. It's because of the diversification of the country, which you support. So you said that you don't want this to happen to us. You don't want whites to become disenfranchised. You don't want whites to become second-class citizens in the criminal justice
okay. So
system,
your
academia,
view,
and all
your
these different
view,
institutions, but you're supporting
your
the
view
very
is that
thing that's causing it.
whatever color people are in power are going to somehow fuck over the other people, and you want to be the group that
white
stays.
People aren't doing that. White people aren't doing that right now. But when it comes to white
but
people,
you know that everybody but
treated
white people.
nicely.
But you know that other groups believe that white people are doing that, right?
I get that, but that's not the reality.
That's
the reality
fine.
Of the situation is that
I just want to summarize.
groups
Something.
Put their people ahead of the interests of
I hear you, man. I hear what you're saying.
On average, I mean, that's the reason why 90-something% of blacks voted for Barack Obama because
I get
black.
I understand.
Right? That's the reason why Hispanics broadly.
I understand what you're saying
because they view them as hostile toward their people because they
I get what I get as a Jew. I definitely get what you're saying. The group in power, if it is not you, is likely to either be able to treat you badly or is likely to treat you badly. What I'm saying is, I'm saying it's a cynical.
Get it out, dude.
I'm trying. I don't have a pre-scripted paragraph to say. I'm actually thinking about what I'm saying, so it's going to take a second.
Yes, dramatic pauses.
I have nothing scripted. I was looking up into the corner of the room actually because there's a cobweb in the corner of the room while I was speaking.
Okay, whatever. I think it's a cynical, depressing way to look at the world as a dog-eat-dog world where we're going to arrange ourselves by groups, by color, and the mistreat.
Damn, son! Holy shit!
Mistreat and murder the groups that don't look like us. I understand why you think that. Historically, that has been true, and I understand why you want to be. I understand why you want to stay in power.
Okay, so
I get
the
it.
thing is, like, it's none of your arguments make any sense because none of them are because your arguments contradict each other, right? You're saying that you don't want whites to become disenfranchised. You don't want whites to become to lose their power in the country. You don't want these things to be happening to white people.
I don't. No, I don't want them to happen to anybody.
Thing that's causing it. You're arguing. You are in support. You came to this debate to argue against the idea of America becoming of America remaining majority white. And if America becomes
obviously,
minority white, those things are only going to
stop
happen
a second. You know my preference.
We're not going to get white people are not going to get affirmative action in college. White people are not going to get
I don't believe in affirmative action.
Relief packages.
I think poor people should get help going to college, not based on race.
Right. No, I agree with you. But but what I'm saying is that these are the things that are happening, right? White people.
I understand. I think we agree on a lot of the same stuff.
And this is only going to get worse.
When we
become the minority, we're not going to be treated with the same sort of respect.
I understand. You're saying that other people are so racist that you have to defensively view the world through a racial lens to protect yourself and your people.
No, but it's not about. It's somewhat about
that's basically what you're saying, right?
Protecting white people. It's somewhat about defending white people.
And I'm saying I would rather be slaughtered than view the world through that lens.
Well, you're not going to be slaughtered because when they come and tell you, well, they're, when they come after you and call you whitey, you're just going to be like, hey, I'm Jewish. I'm not white. I'm Jewish. And
don't fucking tell me you think it's better to. Do you really think it's better to be a Jew than to be white right now in America?
Yes. Yes.
In terms of
100%.
racial animus.
In terms of power, in terms of treatment, in terms of, I mean, you can say whatever you want to say about white people on the media. You can say whatever you want to say about white people in the news, but you cannot say those same things about Jewish people. You will be. I'm not
afraid of internet censors. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about violence.
I'm not talking about internet censors. I'm talking about you getting fired from your job. You lose.
I'm not talking about getting fired from. This is my job.
You never. Well, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about generally the general population. Like for instance,
I'm talking about
Nick Cannon.
I'm talking about being slaughtered. Do you think you're more likely to be killed for being white than I'm likely to be killed for being a Jew?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's worse states than that.
Yeah. How about the guy in Waukesha? Hang on, I got a thing for Max.
No, well you can, but wait. We can't dogpile.
Okay.
let you know, I have to be.
I'm on Max's side here. I'm here to attack Vince.
Well, I understand everybody wants to give me. That's fine.
I know that I recognize this voice. Dingo, right?
What's up, dog? How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Nothing. I'll wait till you leave.
If you want to ask him, you might as well just ask him now, since. But
no, it's okay. I'm all about.
You might be right. I actually honestly don't know.
You have to be fair.
I don't know.
Right.
Well, okay, I would just say to that one point, and this is not a dog pile, but the guy in Waukesha, Daryl Brooks, he ran through a Christmas parade to explicitly kill white people. He had made 11 rap songs where he talked about hurting or killing white people before he did this.
I'm looking for statistics
whatsoever. They didn't get pulled off YouTube whatsoever. I mean, nobody gave a shit that he was talking about killing people, and then he did it.
There's no denying that YouTube or other sites are more friendly to saying bad things about white people, for sure. They don't care about racism.
No. I have those That's a stupid generalization. If you're looking for statistics, I've tried to give you statistics. I've tried to give this guy statistics all night. He doesn't want to hear anything about statistics. He doesn't want to hear about.
The question is, am I more likely to be targeted with violence because I'm a Jew than you are because you're white? And I don't know the answer.
No, he was talking about Daryl Brooks in Waukesha, Wisconsin. If you want to get into the statistics on interracial crime and the coverage of that interracial crime, I have those statistics. I can link you those sources.
I was asking you a specific question that I don't think either of us knows the answer to.
Well, I think that you're certainly far less likely to be killed if people know that you're Jewish than if you are white.
You might be right. I honestly don't know the answer. I was actually wondering.
I really dislike Jews, but I'll tell you what, I would never hurt a Jew because that's how you get life in prison in the rape center.
No,
everybody knows that.
That's true.
All right. Now, I can roll through some more calls, or I don't want to keep you all night. We do have some more callers if you want to take them, but I know we've already kept you way past budget here, Vince. So
no. It's okay. It's okay.
Right.
I can be a little bit. I can be a little bit late.
You're gonna be 23 minutes late by your calculations.
Well, like 15 minutes late, maybe.
Vince, I don't want to hear any more callers. I gotta go talk to my chat.
Okay,
Vince, do you have anything? Any final points you want to talk to?
No final points.
You sure?
It's fine.
I'm all ears.
Yeah. No, you're right. I gotta go before this place closes. I'll
When do we have final thoughts? Can people say where you can find each other? Or,
y'all know
cozy.tv for me.
Max, I have a non-political question for you, if that's cool.
All right, go ahead. What's up?
There was a guest on here last night that was talking about your career as a personal trainer, and he was talking about how good a shape you were in, and he said that you had abs. Is that true?
Not anymore.
He's a liar. Okay. All right. Well,
no. It's true. I was shredded, but the pandemic has not been kind to my abdominal region. Give me like 6 months. I'll show you an 8-pack.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, man, for coming on. I appreciate you tonight. Tell people your channel for real. What the fuck? Where can they find you?
I won't do that.
You son.
You want to find me? You'll find me.
Holy shit. Girl. I always say that same thing. Now I'm just going to start plugging, I guess.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on. Now, Vince, you still here? Is Vince still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
So now you tell people where to find you at least.
Cozy.tv or
later, guys.
BitChute, Odyssey.
Later, man.
Bye. Dailyveracity.com.
Well, not even a practicing June. He's getting ripped for it. We got a moderator here. Mr. Girl wants us to lay down and die rather than hurt somebody's feelings. Yeah, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I really wanted to avoid a binder debate, but I didn't know how to do that exactly. I gotta stipulate that before. That was a hell of a ride. Yeah, it was. It was painful, unproductive, painful. Mod me, pretty please. I gotta get somebody I trust to mod you. Wow, that felt really gross. So what'd you think of that, bud? What have you done? That guy was a Skyrim NPC dialogue tree. It was, yeah, I don't want to get in the habit of telling people just to shut up, but I felt like it was semi-warranted in this case. Hang on. That's too much. What do I think of that? He's very good at taking control of the, like, what kind of conversation we're going to have. And then just, like, running, filibustering, I said that. And then the only way to stop him that I could find was to, like, yell. But I don't want to do that, but I did it anyway, despite not wanting to. I was trying to actually connect with him, utterly failed to do that. Was trying to understand where he came from, kind of failed to do that. Probably shouldn't have set it up as a debate. It's weird because it's like I want to interview him in a way, but also argue with him at the same time. But maybe that's not possible. Vince Shtick is compiling statistics, right? And so I just wanted to say, like, fine, I accept your statistics, but like I want to talk about like the ideas here. But then he thinks I'm trying to trap him, which I get. I don't know. Maybe I am. Honestly, like, part of it is I just wanted to be civil. And I didn't really do a great job, but I kind of did. It was hard. I was definitely pissed at first because he was like trying to get me to not be civil, and I fell for it. But yeah, it felt like he was like super in charge of like the type of conversation we're having. And then anytime I tried to change it to a different type, he would say I was doing mind tricks while he was doing his mind tricks, and I fell for a lot of them. Mr. Girl won. Thanks, Vito. I appreciate that. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that good. It wasn't very productive. I think you need to know more about the economic stuff if you're going to be doing debate stuff. I think there's two. I guess there's two angles. I mean, maybe knowing more about it would help, but I don't really want to talk about it. It's like, even if he's right, even if everything he says is right, I still don't think discriminating against people because of their color is good. And like, it's the racism that I'm debating, not the economics. Like, he turned the question into, is it best for America to have lots of crime and be like spend lots of money on social program, to spend more money on social programs? And I'm like, I guess not, but that's but that's not the question. The question is like fighting for whiteness and white majority. Is that like the right way to approach these problems? So I want to get away. I guess I can more easily dismiss the binder shit if I bring my own binder. But then it just turns into a binder fight, because I can't really dismiss it with my counter arguments. He'll never let them go, and then I'll never get past it. So I felt like I just had to just say, okay, fine, and get to the stuff I actually want to talk about. You need to push more on why he sees it in the racial lens and not the IQ and economic. Yeah, I think that was kind of like the heart of my point. But he really didn't want me to push on that. Why did you request a debate rather than an interview? I don't know that these guys are going to let me interview them until I'm really, really big. I think they want to call me a stupid Jew pedo while I talk to them. But yeah, I should probably try that. You have to accept some people aren't going to engage you in good faith. They want to perform for the crowd and make you look dumb. Right. And so I wanted to put him in like a bind with my hypothetical where he has to admit to the crowd that if he could be on team smart people rather than team white, he would just do that instead. Destiny warned you. Yeah, he did. He did. Debates are binder fights. Yeah. The food and music line he kept bringing up, yeah. I understand what you're saying. I think you can beat him on both ends of it, the economic and the race stuff. If you concede the economic, he'll keep returning to it. But I don't. But the problem with arguing about that is it implies that I'm saying The problem with racism is that it doesn't work. And I don't ever want to be in that position. So that if I engage with the economic stuff, I don't, that's not my position. My position is I don't care that the solution being racism is not a solution. You have to come up with a different fucking answer. I just don't, I find it unacceptable and like depressing and nihilistic. Not that it would, I don't want to imply it would be fine to say no more brown people can come in the country if this guy can prove that they're hurting the country just by virtue of being brown. They don't do interviews. Yeah, because they'll think it's a trap. I liked when he said your argument was about feelings based, and you asked about cuties, and he saw his was about feelings too. Yeah. Yeah. That was good. That was a good moment. And thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Whoa, somebody gave me $30. Appreciate you, Max. I also want that shirt. Thank you. You could have spent the $30 you just gave me on buying it, but now it's going to cost you $55 if you want the shirt. But thank you. I appreciate it. With these guys, they already have the ideology and try to cherry pick stats to support their conclusions. Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to get at, is like, how much of this, how did you get to this conclusion? He sounds like me. He sounds like the way people say I sound, where he's like, no, you secretly believe this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't, but that's how I feel about cuties. So that was weird. I feel like we have more in common than he wants to admit. Okay. Thank you for the super chats. I apologize for the ones that I missed. I don't know if I can go back. Probably. I think there is a way. I'll find it at the end. The morality argument is the best one. It's immoral to reject people on the basis of race. Yeah, and that's why he called me a woman. The other guy called me a woman at the end, because my argument is a woman argument. I'm basically just saying, like, it's like depressing. Like, the problem with the Holocaust is not like that it didn't work. It's that it's bad. And I would rather live in a country with higher crime and poverty than a country that tells people you have to be white to get in. And I feel like that is kind of an emotional argument. He asked why I believe that, and I'm like, I was just fucking taught that. I just was taught that's what's right, and that's how I feel now. And I think it's true. Do your shirts come in 6XXL? I don't think they do. Do you regret making the cuties review? No. Don't tell me what to do with my wife's money. Well, then I won't. At some point the two will collide. You'll have to make a choice. Are you racist or compassionate? Yeah, see, that's my problem with the binder stuff. And I man, he was talking so much I couldn't think fast enough to articulate this. But yeah, I wanted to get to that point of like, okay, like, whether it's true or not, it's like racism is like a big hammer that he wants to like hit the world with. And he's like, at what point, what kind of correlation do we need to see before I can hit the world with this hammer? And I'm like, 15-point IQ difference? Like, that doesn't, that's not the point. Not then. And like if he didn't have the statistics adjusted for poverty, crime rates between different races, but I assume it's not fucking huge. So that, to me, that's not racism time. Racism time is like when you find out that a race of people is like, they're all literally serial killers. Then at that point, it's like, okay, and obviously somewhere before then, but we're not there. I feel like we can figure this out without having to be racist. If you Thanos snap all non-white people from the U.S., would the rate of violent crime go up or down? That's the other thing that I wanted to get to, but we didn't, is that, okay, so you get rid of all the most stupid people and criminals. You get rid of them. But then you have a new population that also has a new most stupid group of people. And so, like, do they start committing crimes? Or are you just saying you just keep doing that until there's no crime? Like, what is an acceptable crime rate? And then how does your view of what's an acceptable crime rate intersect with your view of how much whiteness there should be or you want to be? But I don't think that he would... I don't think he'd be willing to go down that, like, thought experiment. Are Jews and Hispanics white? They are considered white by census. The Census Bureau, but not by the Killstream or its supporters. Bagel. Bagel. Thank you for the $2. The binder racism tendency probably correlates with high neuroticism. Yeah. Whoa, $400. 400 rubies. Rubles? Rupees? What is this currency? I need to look this up to decide what my tone of voice is going to be. Rubles is $5. Thanks. When you avoid virtue signaling by not explaining that you're not a pedo, you just end up poisoning the well and no one wants to agree with you after it. Plus the long make you seem ignorant instead of... Oh, long pauses make you seem ignorant instead of contemplative. Yeah, maybe. I'm not trying to do a long pause right now. I am being contemplative. I guess. I don't know. So then what do you think? I just shouldn't talk to these people? That's how I want to talk. I don't want to, especially about something that feels so like dangerous and important to me. I don't want to just be blurting shit out. $5. Hey, $5 is $5. I also understand why you hate the binder shit, but having a text file with some pre-written questions would maybe help you keep your head. Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I don't need to win. I let him drag the debate for most of it, probably 70% of it, into territory that I didn't want to engage. And I also didn't want to tell him to stop talking. I couldn't make up my mind. Then I did, but it was too late to definitely be considered a victory. So I would say I mostly lost that. Losing debates to white supremacists is probably not the most morally sound thing to do either. You just shouldn't talk to these. You shouldn't talk to these people. Yeah, maybe. I don't think you should talk to them. To be honest, it doesn't suit you. Yeah, I know, but I also don't. I don't want to. No, I don't want to. I don't want to not talk to them. I just have to figure out a different way. I don't want to have people I don't talk to. Don't change your current argument style. Make your argument style, make them conform to you. Yeah. Honestly, if I keep growing and I have enough weight, then I will be able to just be like, you can come on my show. I might be close to there already. Not on YouTube though, on Twitch. Mr. Girl, don't let them take control. I know, but not letting them take control is, I don't know. Not virtue signaling is ironically signaling virtue to people like me. Yeah, I am virtue signaling. I'm just signaling different virtues. It was a draw. No. My side thinks it's a draw and his side thinks I lost. So, like I said, on the average, I probably lost. Did you watch Destiny's debates with Vince? No. You just need practice? No, I don't want to do what Destiny does. I want to be he's more cerebral. And he wants to make the other person look stupid. And I don't want to do that. Except when I got pissed off, then I did want to do that, but I shouldn't have. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. The guy who said you have a feminine view of the world most likely reads Nietzsche. When are you going to start reading philosophy? I don't fucking know. You had him on the handicapped argument, and not talking to people would be what people were trying to do to you. So talk to everyone. Yeah. Yeah. I think the well was poisoned. I don't think there's anything I could have done with the pedophile stuff. I think the well was poisoned just on him not wanting to be seen. I think at a certain point I was like agreeing with him about stuff, and I could tell he actually was starting to warm up to me, like personally, and then he would purposefully swerve. So there might not have been much I could have done there. Why don't people see that when you say you find 11-year-olds hot, you're just trying to shift the over 10 window? Oh my God. Thank you for the $5 and for that comment. I appreciate it. And M4A now, thank you for the $5 with the handicapped argument comment. I appreciate it. This is helping. The Nazis are reacting defensively, expecting a certain narrative, but maybe one of the less extreme, sensible ones will talk to you as a result of this. Yeah, I just want to show, like, all the shit all the assumption that anybody who it doesn't agree with you completely all thinks the same way. I want to challenge that. It seemed to me like there were some moments where he was curious and confused about who he was actually talking to. Like his assumptions didn't take him as far as he thought they would. Yeah. I needed to make him engage with me more. Like he was talking, but not talking to me. And so then I'm just like watching him talk to nobody. And I don't really know how to be like, hey, like dickhead, you have to talk to me now. Or to just be like, okay, I'm out. If you're gonna ramble, I'm done. I don't know. I don't know how to get around that. Maybe I should talk to Ralph beforehand and be like, you gotta tell these. We have to do like timed, like, or some more structure, because he's just fucking will not shut the fuck up. He was looking at numbers on a page and not people in their eyes. The fixation on race over class is illogical, especially since you gave him an out with the Thanos question. Kind of, it was an out, but it's also a fake out, because he doesn't want to be seen saying that he would Thanos snap his like stupid white people. But then he did say it. So I'm like, if you're willing to say that, then why can't we just talk about this? I think staying calm goes a long way when dealing with these guys. If they get mad and you're not, then it looks worse on them. But I was mad. I'm so tired of listening to people. Maybe I'm streaming too much, but Jesus Christ. When I ask a simple, straightforward question and the person wants to give me 10 minutes of context, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. You can call me whatever fucking slur you want. Just make it short, for the love of fucking God. A good alternative to shut up can be, can I explain my words and you correct? Can I explain my words and you correct me? I guess. I think if I'm that angry at that point, I should just say shut up. But, yeah. I'll put that in my tool belt. Maybe. I gotta think about it. I think I'm just going to say shut up. I've thought about it. It shows you're willing to engage and allows you to control the conversation. It shows I'm willing to engage, but it actually means that I'm not willing to engage. I'm literally just telling the person to shut the fuck up. And so I think it might be better for my style to just say that and be like, I'm not, like, I don't mean it. I mean it in a nice way. The nicest possible way. I'm actually asking you, will you do me a favor and shut your fucking mouth for 5 seconds? Chicken, you can't really talk to these people. They're too focused on race. According to them, you're a Jewish elite despite being a majorly hated creator. Yeah. Right, like I'm I mean, I see why he's pissed. If he's like, you're allowed to do this and I'm not allowed to. You can the thing is that he thinks that I'm out here proselytizing about how the age of consent should be 11 and child porn should be legal, whatever, and I might get banned for that. I don't know, but that's not what I believe, and it's not what I said. So I see why he's mad, though. We shouldn't ban people for being racist. He is right. I agree with that. I don't think he should be banned. Thank you for the £5. Jeez, it must be late there. Thank you. Thank you for staying up, too. Slaps McGee. Most of the guys on Killstream aren't interested in conversation, just blood sport. That's why D is so good on that show. You need 2000s voice chat vibe. Yeah. Well, that's true of Twitch, too. I'm trying to be, like, different. Still confrontational, but less sport. And more just, like, actually trying to understand, even if it's in a fight. But I'm still figuring that out, obviously. Mr. Girl did great. The opposing audience coming in to say that you did bad isn't a rare scenario. No, obviously. Destiny is actually very, very smart. Destiny is very smart. That's true. When you usually stream, do you do it on both Twitch and YouTube or only Twitch? Only Twitch. I only streaming here because I didn't want to get banned from Twitch. It didn't feel out of place or wrong when you raised your voice or stopped his attempts at interrupting you. It seemed like he was just shut down and was unintentionally responding in an evasive way. Yeah, I honestly don't think he really had bad faith. It's like a microcosm of the race problem that he's talking about, where he assumes I'm coming in to fuck him over somehow. So he's preemptively saying, oh, you think I'm a Nazi? Well, you know what I found out about you, fucking pedo? And I'm like, I mean, I guess I said I'd rather get slaughtered than think that way. And I'd rather lose a debate than cut him down for who he is in an attempt to win points. I just don't really want to participate. I honestly, this might be a sick thought, but I think clout might solve this. I think that there might become a point where, or might come a time when I can just say, like, I'll be the host. And I will respect you and your views. And we won't have any text-to-speech. That shit embarrasses me. I don't want to go on the kill stream anymore if they're going to do that. I think I'm just going to leave next time. Just because I want to be classier than that. And it makes me feel embarrassed. Cowabat gave me $10 and gave me a good alternative to shut up. But I think I read this already. Can I explain in my words and you correct me? But thank you for the $10. I appreciate it. I think you had him on his back foot when you guys were talking about the First Amendment. I did, but I didn't. But then I was like, I was like, just walk it back. Like, you don't have to stick to that because you don't believe that. I was trying to show good faith and show, like, I'm not going to zero in on whatever side point you stupidly said that at the beginning of the debate. It's not what we're talking about. Like, you just let it go. Mr. Girl, you talked to Lauren Southern, right? Will that be uploaded to YouTube? Yes. Yeah. I'm going to upload it to this channel. I think imminently. I think I already edited it and exported it. I think it's done. Or no, it's almost done. It'll be done tonight probably. If it'll be up by sometime tomorrow. That's my answer. You really think people are less racist now? I think they're much more racist than 10 years ago. I don't know. But I was saying like 60 years ago. I don't know. I mean, Vince James 10 years ago, I don't think... I don't know. I don't know the answer. I didn't pay enough attention or talk to enough racists 10 years ago to answer. I just think your style is very different from that of many people in this space. Yeah, but I need to... I think it's irresponsible for me to lose debates to white nationalists. So I need to find a way to make it clear so it doesn't feel like I'm pulling the rug out from underneath them. Make it clear from beforehand, like, I don't want to have a traditional debate. Yeah. Walking it back is taken as losing in the debate, so they'll never see it as an out the way you do. Well, it's not really an out. Like, you said something dumb. But I'm just saying you can rip the Band-Aid off, or we can make it take forever. But I can't let you go saying that you think I should go to jail for my videos. That's retarded, and you don't think that. It'd be funny if you prided yourself on being brave enough to talk about pedos, but not brave enough to talk to white supremacists. It's not about bravery. I just, maybe it is. Yeah, fuck it. I'll keep talking to them. Why'd you make the second channel? I don't want to pollute the first channel with all streaming content. I feel like that the main channel should be focused, highly edited content. You know, the main channel's the chocolate chips. This channel's the rest of the cookie. To keep the cookie clicker metaphor going. I somewhat agree with Vince, but at a point, people are still people. You can't just dehumanize people to this extent. Yeah, there's just something about going to, like, hating people or getting rid of people. I know he said he wouldn't get rid of anybody who was a U.S. citizen, but it feels like he walks right up to the line. I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but it's the same exact thinking that for sure leads to, like, get the fuck out of my country thinking. I don't even think we should. I think it's wrong to put criminals in jail. And those are the people who are criminals. So I just have a very different, like, softer view of how, like, the state should treat people, especially when it comes to based on their race. Perhaps ask Steven for a centrist moderator who can nonetheless intervene when one side rants too much. Yeah, maybe. Do you think Vince James said anything racist in the conversation? Yeah, when he implied that Jews are pedophiles. He seems to hate Jews. But other than that, is it racist to say that you think that non-whites have lower IQs? I don't know. The emphasis, it might be racist to say that. And it's probably racist to make it really important to you. But he didn't say anything explicitly that's just like, but just on its own is like a racist thing to say, other than about Jews. Joe, I'm Joe. Remembered that I have Google Rewards money. Cookie Clicker vid was amazing. Been watching you for years. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you for the $10. Check Streamlabs donations. Okay. But why would I have Streamlabs donations? Do you know something I don't? 8:16 p.m. Hey man. Oh, it's from you. Thank you for the $1. You're the only one. Tech Streamlabs donation. Hey man, good stream so far, but you really need to add moderators in the Mr. Girl Returns YouTube channel before next YouTube stream if you intend on streaming there again. Keep up the great work. Yeah, I know. That was stupid of me. I set that up like right before. And that was a bit risky. Have a good night. You have a good night too. He was so good at being racist without being racist. I honestly sense that on some level he does actually care about, like, people that aren't white. He seems like he feels stuck between, like, doing what's best for white people, even if he thinks it's immoral and wrong for other people. He seems more conflicted about it. I feel like that's kind of what I was trying to get at and what he was avoiding letting me get at. I inherently don't think anyone is a centrist. There are people who can understand one side more than the other, but centrism I feel like is disingenuous. Well, centrism's supposed to be that you pick and choose based on your own values, your stance on each issue, rather than trying to be middle of the road. Oh, meant to say centrist moderators aren't good, but meh. I see. No mods. No, we're gonna have mods. All right. Thank you for watching my stream. Wait, I want to answer your question. What is your question? See Brittany. End. I don't see a question from you. Because he was going to say being racist. Wait, are you trying to ask me a question? What do you call it? Who's evasive? What is your question? I don't see her question. What is the question? See Brittany end. Retype your question. I don't see it. Orthodox Christianity values sanctity of the image bearer. Look into it. Okay. You should wear a full-on suit for debates. That would be terrible. Oh, she asked worse pedophiles or racists? Oh, I think it might be getting censored before it gets to my OBS or something. What is worse? Are you talking about offending pedophiles? Then pedophiles. If you're talking about child molesters, being a child molester is worse than being a racist. If you're talking about, is it worse to have bad thoughts about children or bad thoughts about people of different races? Probably bad thoughts about children. I just mean functionally. I think it's worse for society and definitely worse for you. You can live like a fairly normal life while being a racist, but there's children everywhere. So, yeah. He doesn't engage in hypotheticals or nuance because all he has going for him are stats on a page. Well, he asked me some hypotheticals. He asked me about if my neighborhood became 45% black, what would I do? But I don't think that. I think he just doesn't. I think he just didn't want me to trick him or trap him somehow. And there's no way for me to convince him. I mean, I'm trying to trap him in the sense that I'm trying to get him to answer, like, at what point, why is it okay? Why is it okay with you to do this? And when is it okay? And I guess that could make him look weak. But I think if he trusted me more, he probably would have done more. Do you think you should prepare more next time? I think I should have talked to Vince beforehand. I don't think I need to prepare more in terms of, like, getting my binder ready. I think I just need to be like, I want to argue about the, like, morality of the sentiments and have, like, a friendlier debate. I don't want to get in a binder fight. And then if he doesn't want to do that, then I could just not do it. I think that's what I should do for next time. Brittany is in shambles. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think you can ask for a debate and have the authority to act as a host. That's something that would happen in a discussion. Yeah, maybe I should just do discussions instead. I like how you didn't get mad when he said he doesn't believe you. Yeah. I was not hypocritical when I said that. All right. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go. What's the next thing I'm streaming? Oh, Sunday. Advice and Confessions with Mr. Girl at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. Well, I can't send you guys to Stardust right now because it's not Twitch, but go. I mentally raid Stardust.